Hello and welcome back to Dash 28 Live. I'm your host, Mike Atkins, and today we're bringing you another match from the first round of group play from the Quintessentially Quayle Cup. This time we've got Ed Herzig with the Free Dwarfs and Jeremy Duvall with the Basileans, and I'm certain that's how that's pronounced.
Basilians.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Thanks for being here. We're excited to watch this game. I've got Kyle Peach and John Quayle himself, the eponymous John Quayle here, to help me commentate on the match. And I think we're going to have Jesse B popping in a little bit later to help us cover the match as well. As with yesterday and all of the first round matches, they're going to be playing Pillage on a map that I think John wrote specifically, the terrain map that you wrote specifically for the event. Is that right?
It was. Well, actually, no, it's the part of the Blackjack Masters map. So there's a. If you look hard enough, you'll find them, and it's just an interpretation of the map that they put out there. So I take no blame for it whatsoever.
Okay, awesome. So without any further ado, let's just truck right on into showing off your bright and shiny, newly updated Clash of Kings 22 lists. So these are Ed's Free Dwarves. Ed, could you walk us through your list, please? Make it a little bit bigger. There we go.
Sure. So when I put down Free Dwarves, I was thinking I was going to take the exciting new formation, the Eric's Mallets with the Scouting Shield Breakers and Lord. But I had two trial games with that. One of them was against Cy Brand's Ratkin shooting list. And I kind of saw the limitations of scouting defense 4 dwarves into the middle of the table and letting them get shot at for 2 turns. So I have a less sort of cock 22 type list. I've just tried to take advantage of some of the small buffs to the units that have come out of it, which I think make some things much better than they were before and really worth including in the list. So I've got Free Dwarf Spear Levy, so they've now got Scout and they're also regular, so they unlock. So I think they're now a very nice unit. They're cheap. They've got Phalanx. You can put them, you know, they've got the Scout is quite helpful with the unit with Phalanx. Then I've just got 1 regiment of the Shield Breakers. I haven't taken the Scout upgrade on them, so it makes them a little bit less expensive than the Free Dwarf Shield Breakers usually are, which I like. They've still got the Pathfinder. They've got Wild Charge 1, so that's nice. Then I've got the Free Dwarf Berserkers. Again, that's a new unit. It's not that different from regular Dwarf Berserkers, but they've got Wild Charge D3, which is nice. They've kept the Vicious in melee. They've now got Thunderous Charge 1. So if they're charging, they get TC1. If they're counter-charging, they've got the Vengeance, which gives them Crushing Strength 1. So I think they're a pretty nice unit now. And they get the Slayer melee D6, which works absolutely great on everything in Jeremy's list, except for Chariots, because the Rules Committee slipped up on that and forgot that some breed should be able to hurt Chariots or with either Rampage or Slayer. We told them, they didn't listen, and that's what happens. So, but against the Alohi, that could be useful. Then I've got a horde of the Ironwatch rifles. I never used to take them before, but they've got quite a lot better. They're now melee 4, so you know they're not obviously a melee unit, but if they do get charged and survive, they can put some damage out in return. And they're also unit strength 4, which is quite nice when you're in a scenario about claiming tokens. I've gone for the Rangers with the upgrade. It's a very expensive unit. I've given them Fire Oil, which is going to be helpful only against Samochris. But I thought that for the tournament in general, expecting shooting to be back, that having the stealthy on them would probably be worth paying the 15 points for the upgrade, and it gives them elite on their shooting as well. And then I've just got a bit of, you know, the unchanged Earth Elemental goodness, a regiment and a horde of Earth Elementals. The horde have got sharpness, which makes them quite a serious threat in combat. I've gone for one war engine, just really to give me a bit more shooting threat projection, because I'm not a fast list, so something that can reach out and bother my opponent seems like a good idea. I've got the upgraded Greater Earth Elemental to Kragoth. I think he's absolutely fantastic. I always have him in any free dwarf list. And then I've got a massively over-tooled Stone Priest, because it's hard not to try out the new toys. So he's got, all of his regular spells, Surge, Bane Chant, and Martyr's Prayer 7, but he's also got Scorched Earth 3. So he's probably got too much on him, but it's all good and could all be useful in this game. The Berserker Lord with the Blade of the Beast Slayer, he's unchanged. Was always great, and he's still great. And then I've got two of the special characters. I like Hernias. He's like a kind of mini bolt thrower. When he stands still, his shooting attack goes up to 36-inch range, piercing 3 if you give him a halt order. So with hitting on 3s is pretty good. And then Bannock Cholam is also a good character. He's got quite a lot of tricks. His Fireball always hits on 4s. Now that Fireball is shattering, I think he's pretty good too. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, great. And that's going to be 13 drops coming in at 21 unit strength. And now let's flip over and take a look at Jeremy's Basileans.
You can tell what Mike was looking up before we started.
What? Reading the rules? What?
You're just on the second page of the list. Do you want to scroll?
Oh, am I? Oh, yep. Sorry. Hold on.
Yeah. What do Alohi do now?
Kyle and I were just reviewing it. That's correct.
Yep.
So if you could walk us through your list, please.
Okay, so I play Baslieans for a long time. I've taken them to 2 or 3 masters. My normal Basilean list is a little bit more combined arms style. That's just the style of the game that I prefer to play. But I really wanted to highlight a lot of the changes, especially the Sisterhood changes. I love my Sisterhood. So this list is just Ricky Bobby, full American speed. So it starts off with 2 troops of Gur Panthers and 2 regiments of Panther Lancers. So that's the formation. So basically the formation gives the Panther Lancers aura, fury, beasts only, but since they have that aura, they get it themselves too. So basically I'm doing it just for the Panther Lancers to have fury and just to try out the new formation. Then I have the meat of the army are 3 hordes of Panther Chariots. These have gone to melee 3, which was really the main reason why you didn't really want to take them, I think, prior to the Cock Pack, is when you compared them to Knights, especially. Hitting on 4s, they're just I don't think we're very worth it, which shows when I was trying to find last night a UB of a Panther Chariot. There was like none in any of the armies, so it shows you how unplayed, I hate to say bad, but how unplayed they were before. So I have 3 hordes of that. One has Caterpillar and J Boots, 2, so getting my movement, and then I just went for it and gave the other one Brew Sharpness. So might as well. Might as well just do it, make it a real threat. And then what the tools to help make those work is I put in 3 regiments of Alohi. So the Alohi now have the Divine Fervor rule, which is if they're in combat with a unit that has a human keyword, they get elite. So hopefully they'll be countercharging with either the Panther Lancers or with the Chariots. So then the Chariots would have elite and vicious, because Sisterhood have vicious inborn. So I want to really play with that Divine Fervor and see how that works. And then I took a horde of Alohi, which now Alohi you can drop the defense 4 to pick up an extra crushing strength. And I gave them Brew of Strength. So they're defense 4, but they're crushing 3. So hopefully I can get these into some Earth Elementals or something like that. And then Samacris, who's probably my favorite unit in the whole army. She's the ultimate toolbox. She flies. She has unit strength 1. She can fireball now with shattering. She can heal. Amazing scenario play at the end of the game. Pivot, go 20 inches, sit on an objective. She's just one of my favorite pieces, not only in Basileans, but in the whole game. I just think she's so value town. So that's the list.
All right, great. And that's a big old 27 unit strength and just 12 drops.
Yeah, not a lot of drops.
Not a lot of drops there. Very expensive units. But so now let's take a look at your Universal Battle rooms. This is the same map that everybody's playing on this round. And you guys are playing Pillage, and I see you're using the red markers for the 7 tokens.
Correct.
And I can see which side of the board you guys are going to be mostly playing on. And let's see. So, Jeremy, your stuff is deployed across the top. So, could you walk us through your deployment starting on the left?
Yeah, so Ed won the roll to pick sides, and I think he probably picked the better side. I think I was maybe going to pick that side as well. So on the top, I have my both regiments of Panther Lancers. One has pipes. You see it on the name next to the little eye marker in your bottom right-hand screen. In front of them is one of the Gur Panther troops with, spoiler alert, won't be moving. So a big shocker. That's just going to chill out on that token. And then I move over and I have my first of the chariots. That's the J-Boots chariots. Often when you deploy something with J-Boots, you deploy it on an obstacle, but you should really think about when you charge, where's the obstacle? So that's why the J-Boots one is there, because most likely they're going to be charging at some point through that obstacle in front of them. I got a Lohi regiment to the right. Behind that is Samarkris, just sort of keeping that middle of the battle line there healed up. And then I have my Pathfinder chariots to the right of that. Behind them, another Gur Panthers who may not be moving either. Spoiler alert again. 2 regiments of Alohi. And then I have my Sharpness chariots on the far right, with behind them with the Crushing 3 Alohi. So that's the idea.
All right, great. And then Ed, you're down here across the bottom. So if you could start on your left, which I guess is really more like your center.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's got a much faster army than me. So I thought I just need to try and bunch up, and I'm going to lose some units for sure. So I need to be able to counterpunch and then grind. And that's what my list should be quite good at. So I've got Ironwatch rifles there with a nice big bunch of rocks to protect their flank. Then I've got Hernias the Hunter, character there, almost invisible in the woods in between the rifles and the next unit, which is Hernias's handpicked Rangers. Do you want to do the second rank now or carry on across the front?
Yeah, pop down and do the ones behind.
So behind that, I've got the Shield Breakers. So with Pathfinder, they can be a nice second rank for when his units crash into what's in front. Then I've got the Berserkers basically doing the same job, a bit more range. In front of them, I've got Bannock Colarm. He's got Scout, so he can come up and get in the way of things, hopefully. And then next to him, I've got the Spear Levy, who have throwing Mastiffs, although they might possibly not get to throw them, as all these units go faster than my movement plus the range of a throwing Mastiff. But anyway, they have it. Then I've got a regiment of Earth Elementals. Behind them, I've got the Berserker Lord on a Brock with the Blade of the Beast Slayer, who I'm relying on to do some damage to some of these Elohai, of which there are far too many. Then I've got the Horde of Earth Elementals with the Brew of Sharpness, the Stone Priest with all his kit, and then on the far right, I've got Kragoth, who does all his things, including scouting, and then right at the back, I've got the Bombard, hopefully just doing some damage all through the game and being a little bit difficult to get to.
All right, great. Thanks for walking us through that, guys. Best of luck to both of you. Go ahead and then I'm back over to UB and get started on your game with the scout moves, and we'll see you guys back here in a little bit to talk about how the game's going.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Have fun. Oh, those guys are too nice. You mean, they're literally explaining what they're trying to do when they're deploying as well. I'm going.
Yeah. So interesting thing I noticed about what Jeremy said. That Bombard has a 60-inch range, and once stuff starts moving, it can see those Gur Panthers.
Is it 60-inch range? Is it? I don't even
It
know.
has a 60-inch range.
I didn't even know that. That's a ridiculous range, isn't it? It does as well, doesn't it? Wow.
Yep. So I don't know. Potentially late game that might happen.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Of course, Jeremy could just sidestep it a couple of inches to get behind the trees, and then
Assuming Jeremy sees it.
assuming Jeremy sees it.
Because he also could have deployed them to not be seen in the first place, though I don't know, maybe they were one of the first things down.
Yeah, splat some panthers. Just bang. Ow. What the hell was that?
Ooh. All right, so obviously Jeremy is has got kind of the hell on wheels, you know.
Mm-hmm. So fast.
Yeah,
I'm a big
and
fan.
Ed's dwarves are. I think he rightly said, "I'm going to get charged, and then I'm going to have to counterpunch." I think that's probably right. What do you guys think about the way Ed has deployed his guys castled up? Do you think he's done that the way you would do it if you were looking across the table at all these chariots and flying units, or do you think there are things that you would have arranged differently?
I feel like... go ahead.
Sorry. We did it both at the same time. I was going to say, I don't have... I've had experience against playing against Ed using the doors, etc. And the interesting thing is going to be how he does his scout moves, because he's got so much scout. It just rocks in. I don't know if I'd had the rifles right on the left hand side, only because they're a bit of a target. So you'd 100% you'd want to go and hit them. So if you put them in the middle of your army, then if it goes for them, then you've at least got an opportunity to counter punch against something there. Having it on the left hand side reduces your chances to get to it.
Yeah. At the other, I guess the other side of that is Jeremy's gonna be coming in there. He's got the rocks to protect them. It's a fairly durable unit. And he's got those other regiments to come in and charge anything that takes him on. What I'd like to see is, I feel like he would benefit from one of those 2 second line units backing up the earth elementals.
Do you reckon the earth elementals are going to be initial targets? Do you?
Maybe not initial targets, but like, that's the sharpness horde of chariots and the crush 3 Elohi. And those are units that can deal with earth elementals pretty quickly. And it doesn't feel like Ed's got a lot of counterpunch there for when those elementals do go down.
Yeah, and I think he's only going to if he's clever, he's only going to let one unit charge it at a time if he can. Because I keep those earth elemental regiment in front, so there's only a small overlap on the actual earth elemental horde.
Right.
But it's with so much speed on this side, he's got to be covering all the angles, so you have to be worried about stuff coming from his left hand side as well. Even if it's just a regiment of Elohi to tie them up, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And then,
so given that Ed's kind of got these Gur Panthers that could just kind of chill on that token, and these Gur Panthers that could also chill on this token, and they're only playing with 7. If he sends stuff forward and then can get in the shooting or get rid of the shooting, get in the way, and then just park on these 2, does he really need to kill anything else? Because then he's got 4, and Ed is slow. It might take him a couple of turns just to get to him. So if by mid game he's got he's kind of got the middle, I don't know that Ed can push him off of him.
He's got a lot of firepower in those Iron Watch rifles, and they're only defense for those chariots.
Yeah. So you definitely have to get something into them to shut them down or occupy them.
There's a lot of firepower looking at it, and his little heroes. You go, ooh, it's only he's only a hero, but he's got a sneaky bit of fireball. I mean, don't forget you've got crossbows as well. Jeremy looks like he won the first turn. Let's all the stuff rushing.
First turn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he might rush on the left and play a little bit slower of a game on the right.
Yeah.
I don't know if he needs to move within 24 of those rifles this turn.
Probably not, but he's going to have to do it at some point. I think if he's going to go around the bottom of the rock, though, that it makes big problems. And this is where I'm thinking if you had, let's say, the spear levy on the left hand side of Iron Watch rifles, you've got something to absorb a charge as such, because you never
Right.
want to move the Iron Watch rifles. You want to just be shooting for as long as you can. Because even with I don't know if you could even spin the shield breakers on the left enough to actually get them by. That might be a bit tricky.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's going to have to walk the Iron Watch rifles up a little bit so their flank is totally covered by the rocks, and then send some shield breakers over there to intercept these Lancers. Which, I mean, if he pushed them all the way straight forward without turning them, even though they have nimble, right? So he could have, if he was planning on cutting in, he could have turned them there, and he didn't. We have to guess that he's going to try to go around the rocks and hit him from the side.
Yeah, it looked like he did some. He tried some pivoting to get out of arc or line of sight of the Iron Watch rifle horde. I'm not sure what they ended up deciding, other than he didn't pivot the unit. But he was trying to. They might not be able to see with the rocks there.
I think they can't.
Okay. So maybe they just figured he couldn't see as is.
Hmm.
I think it's a fairly safe bet. I think you're drawing that line. I think he is in arc, but I think he's out of sight because of the rocks in the way.
I think I'm going through rocks there. So yeah,
which is a bit of a misplay, I think. But I don't know. Hernius, I mean, the crossbowman. You've got a feeling the crossbowman might have a word to say about it because he hasn't got any. He's got the heel of Samarkis, hasn't he? But he hasn't got anything else. He doesn't actually have any inspiring on those Panthers either. There's no inspiring on those Panther Lancers. No. So he could get lucky. I mean, they're only defense 3. They're glass cannons, if ever there was one.
Right. It does
and
not.
They might have fury, but that doesn't help against shooting. Like if you get wavered from shooting, you're still wavered.
Yeah. What do you reckon to the list? I'm a big Basilian player, and I think the changes to Basileans have had a big impact on what you want to choose. So what do you reckon to Jeremy's list and how it's kind of changed from what he'd normally take?
Well, the Ogre Palace Guard are gone. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I'm used to when someone says Basileans, I expect to see a battle line made up of Ogre Palace Guard. And maybe some regiments of Elohi, and maybe some Gur Panther Chaff, and maybe some knights on flanks, and that's it. So this is a very, very different Basilean look than we were seeing prior to the book. Just seeing the chariots back and the Panther Lancers kind of being used as a flanking force is something I didn't see very often. You didn't see a lot of Elohi hordes anymore. Because they kind of lost a step. So I think he's definitely trying out a bunch of the new stuff. And on paper, it looks solid. There's a lot of punch. He doesn't have a lot of inspiring. He doesn't have a lot of heal, but he's got a whole bunch of flying thick chaff and those Elohi regiments, and he's got a lot of synergy between things. And the chariot stats look pretty good now. I don't know. I think it's possible that we will see more Basilean lists that look like this now, especially if this match goes well, right?
I think it's possible. I think it's also quite a bit more fragile of a list than we're used to seeing, just because, they're a 16-18, but they're a defense 4 16-18. And kind of like we talked about, Samarkis is the only way to heal them at all in this list.
Yeah.
So,
it is definitely a less grindy, more alpha strikey Basileia.
So it wouldn't be surprising to see one of these hordes just die to shooting in Ed's first turn.
True.
He's going to be able to use his throwing mastiffs, guaranteed. And the levy are going to crest that hill and go, have it. Throw some dogs.
Right. Have some dogs, yeah.
I would have preferred to see the actual Elohi regiments in front, because you'd then be going, the defense 5. So if you could use them to give cover to some of the chariot regiments as they move forward. Oh, geez, there you go. He's done.
Yep. Right. We talked about them as thick chaff, but that's not how Jeremy's using them.
No, he's going to use them as charge buddies, so he gives them elite, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it has to be said, the combo of any of the infantry unit. So the reason you're not seeing Palace Guard is that you're going, they're not human. And when you put a Lohi regiment in or a Lohi, you've got a lot of
Hello.
combo.
Hey,
Hello.
Jeremy.
Hey,
Hello.
Welcome.
thank you.
All right. So
What's
we were
the
just
grand plan? Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Panthers are just going to go all the way down and then
Yep.
pivot. I had with the chariot horde footprint, I had no space to have, especially with Ed denied flank position. My idea is, and they can't be seen by the rifle, so they're just going balls to the walls, balls deep. So next turn they'll go 20 and then pivot. So then he has to deal with Panthers in his flank, which can be tough for dwarves in that type of formation, right? The 2 Gur Panther troops are just going to stay back on both those tokens. I don't need them really for chaff or speed or anything in this game, I don't think. So hopefully they'll just chill there and hold those tokens. Ideally, I want to get my Alohi horde with crushing into the big giant earth guy, I think. And then I'm just going to try to set up some... the chariots are just going to have to go in at some point. So just with how layering he has, I mean, I'm going to have to just start fighting things next turn. Get some combo charges, hopefully, with the Alohi. If not, the Alohi may end up being a backline, where just spacing, if I can't fit them in, they'll just sit back, and then once he shoots through the chariots, they'll go in and try to pick up. And then hopefully at that time, the Panthers will be around that obstacle.
Okay. And so you got your Panthers hanging back, holding on to 2 tokens. Is there a specific third or fourth token you're planning on trying to grab and just sit on?
Yeah, I think Samarkris is going to sit on the one. Probably she's going to either take either of those 2 middle tokens. So either that token or that token. By the end of the game, Samarkris is going to be supporting and healing, but then we'll drop back for scoring on one of those 2 tokens, I believe. So then that right there puts me on 3 tokens, and then I just got to take that one where the spear levy is, or when the Lancers get around the rock, they can maybe get that one behind the forest, depending on speed-wise where they get.
Okay.
So I think I
Alright,
got some options. The Panther Lancers, that could be pretty big if they get around that rock and he doesn't really have an idea what to do with them, but we'll see.
All right, great.
Awesome.
Thanks so much for giving us your perspective on your plan. Good luck with the rest of the game.
John plays speed Basileans, so just be kind to me in your suggestions and critiques on my game. Just remember, I'm sensitive guy. I don't have your guys' sarcastic British thing down, so just be nice after.
Well, the beauty of sarcasm is I could sound really nice, but let's be honest, you may not read the undertone.
Fair.
Fair. Well, I'm just going to go with whatever. If I think you're being so nice to me, I'm just going to go with that because then I'll have a nicer day. So
I'm always nice to you.
I appreciate it. Okay, fellas, thanks.
Cheers, Jeremy.
And welcome, Jesse.
How's it going, guys?
Good. We are in the bottom of turn 1.
Yeah, I was catching the overview on my drive. I was listening as I got back in, getting up to speed.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like Ed is ready to start shooting. So let's see where he's going first.
All right, let's
This
see
is going to
it.
be interesting.
Definitely at the chariot.
Here we go.
With
I
Pathfinder.
think
Okay.
he can just kill these chariots.
And watch
He just
rifles are
puts
what?
everything
20
into
shots?
Yeah, 20 shots, piercing 2, so it's going to be 4
Fives
fives and
and
2s,
twos.
isn't it?
Yeah.
A lucky roll, you could get 10 hits, but he's almost killed the
Right.
unit in one round of shooting, and he's
Yeah.
still got the hunters as well, hasn't he? And
He's
the
got the
The
dogs.
hunters.
hunters and dogs and hernias.
What's the range on the dog? So that is 10 hits.
Ah, see, I told you.
Is that the right number of attacks?
Is it 25
rolled
shots?
25 dice.
25? Yeah, no, they're
Ooh.
20.
Definitely
They
only
are
have
20
20.
shots.
I told
We'll see
him he needs to win. Hold up the British angle.
That's one way
Alright.
to get your
We'll
shot.
see if Jeremy lets that stand because it's 9 wounds.
It's
Yeah.
already on. It's done. Oh no!
Definitely.
Oof.
Is that 2 shots
And
from?
That's Hernius.
That's-
Yep.
This must be hernias. Yeah.
So that's 2 more wounds from Hernius.
Let's start the cheat record now. So that's
Tally it
one.
up.
That's one to Ed. And he's so nice in person.
And now the Rangers.
Mm-hmm. So the downside of him doing this and committing everything to the chariot horde is shooting was probably one of his better ways of dealing with some of those panthers.
Hmm.
And now this is just going to let them get behind him. And he has to know at this point that that's where they're going with them not pivoting.
It's 15 wounds currently on a 16-18 unit.
Yeah, that's.
And he hasn't, and he's doing the dog somewhere else. Yeah, even without cheating, that
Yeah.
horde was dead.
Yeah, chuck the dog somewhere else.
Yeah. This is when he rolls like 20 dice for dogs, and you're like, hang on.
Just a moment. But I mean, really, 20 to 25, it's 5 extra shots, but on 5. So really, like, at most, you take 2 of those wounds off. They're still in big trouble.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's just
Those
whether or not
5
they
dice
keep
could have
getting
been the 5
25.
hits. Those could have been
Yeah.
5 hits, Yeah. Anyway.
There's Bannock Column's Fireball, which is shattering now,
Ooh,
and which does pretty
That's a-
well.
big old
4
hit.
more and a shatter.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kragoth can shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the hurt right there.
He hasn't fired the bombard yet either, has he?
Nope,
No.
no.
it's still coming down.
You can
I
just
don't
shoot
think
that
he
one at the
needs
other.
to,
You can
but
shoot it at the other horde and take them off on a lucky last hit. That would be ridiculous. You're like, well, we thought this game was going to be quick. We didn't realize it was going to be quick in this direction. Like,
Another 3.
Yeah, I mean the defense 4 has given them maybe a couple of extra points of damage here.
and now the
Yeah,
bombard
and then the
looking like he's
bombard into
going.
this horde too. Oh, jeez. Is he getting
This
gold
is
for
where you
these
get 2
hordes?
5s, just to throw the salt in.
Yeah. What was he doing? Is he measuring? Am I in range?
He
Oh,
might
no.
be checking if he can see the Elohi.
Yes, yeah.
That's what it looks like to me.
Because he's got these guys now. Because what is it? It's a 7 now, isn't it? Or it's a 5 to waver, 7 to kill the chariot unit.
I just shoot him with the
Yep.
bombard. Oh, he missed.
Yeah, he's missed anyway. There
Because
you
it's
go.
not. That's not a consistent kill,
Mhm.
and a few more
No.
points of damage would be.
And
Oh,
we've still
yeah.
got the Hernius as well. Yeah.
Or that's the Stone Priest.
Oh, is it Stone
Yeah.
Priest? Oh, right.
Yeah, he's already done.
He's used Hernius as well.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I forget what spells he gave it, but
I
Uh,
think Scorched Earth will be what he's shooting here.
Scorched Earth, yep.
Yeah,
that's what
probably
he's
if he
done.
doesn't have a damage spell.
Yep, that's what he's called for, and he's got a 4.
Yep, that happens. It's such
So
a
what-
good spell.
So can someone who's had the book longer than me remind us of what Scorched Earth does?
Yeah, so it removes Pathfinder and Strider from the unit, and they are effectively hindered on any charge in the following turn.
Wow, and that is the sharpness chariot. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
18-inch range on that spell as well.
right. So they'd still
and the
be.
nerve rolls. Ooh.
We'll see if it matters.
Kind of want to drum roll again. That's 7.
Shattering
once.
mattered. Yeah.
That's an 18.
Shattering.
This is where Jeremy's going,
Math.
really? Oh, god damn it, what?
That would get it.
Did they forget about shattering?
They did forget about Shattering.
Well, we're
They're
not
not
supposed to
doing it.
remind
They've got a
them.
good roll. They've not got a good, so forget Shattering. There we go.
Once
And a
and
5 on that one, we'll get it.
twice.
And the 6 will get it.
All right. Well, that was a very impactful turn of shooting.
Yeah. Which chariot horde was that?
I was
The
Pathfinder
Pathfinder.
Lord.
Pathfinder.
So yeah, picking up 245 on turn 1 with shooting is it's pretty
Yeah, and then he's well on his way to picking up that other horde
good. Hmm.
because Samacris isn't in a position to heal it.
Now, here's the question: when he pops in here in a minute, do we remind him that Fireball is shattering now, or no?
No, we don't.
No, but we do ask him how many shots Iron Watch rifles get.
That is probably fair.
Sure. And maybe remind them that they forgot to flip the clock.
Oh well, I don't think the clock's going to be an issue this game.
No, no, I don't think it is.
What are you talking about? We're going deep. We're going deep in this game. Come on, right? We're going to make turn 5, I think. I don't know. I'm tempted to even not to point out how many dice he used for it. You can look at it in the replay, and then you can feel shame. Shame.
Live with your actions.
And it would. I mean, Ed's such a nice guy. He'd be like, "Oh, I really didn't mean to do that at all."
Yeah. Definitely
Yeah.
not malicious in any
Actually,
sense.
he might be just putting a front on. Maybe he does it,
Mhm.
completely on purpose. And like, yeah, take that.
It's the long game.
So Ed dropped out of the UB game.
Yeah, I think he's on his way. He's usually on a kind of slow device.
Oh,
Sometimes
okay.
he's gotta-
This is when you move all your units.
Right. There he comes. All right. Welcome back, Ed.
Thank you.
Pretty good first round of shooting there, it looks like.
Yeah, that did work just about, but the pain is coming as we talk.
So clearly you castled up kind of down in the bottom corner, and you're planning on shooting and layering. Jeremy moved up very aggressively. You started shooting at him. What's your plan going to be for the next couple turns? You basically going to try to hold tight and shoot? Are you going to try to back up and lure him further onto the table? Like, what are your thoughts for the next couple turns?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure if I was still muted. So, I mean, backing up isn't an option because I just don't have enough table to back up into or enough speed to get there. He's so fast that I just have to take the pain and get hit. So it's nice that 2 chariot hordes aren't going to be hitting me turn 2, but he's got all the Alohi, which are nasty. I just have to, I'll probably just move the rifles up so their flank is protected so that he can't get into them with the Panthers, turn some of the other guys to face them. And I mean, he's obviously not in such a good position with 2 hordes of chariots not charging this turn. So we'll see what he does. Does he go all in, or does he not try and rush from the top? But I just keep shooting at whatever targets I've got, and then whatever he goes into, I hope to have counter charges ready. Here it comes.
All right, great. So you're gonna stay defensive, counterpunch, and keep shooting. That sounds good. Anybody got any other questions for Ed?
Yeah, I can't reach out.
Okay. Anybody got any other questions for Ed?
I'm trying not to give away the game. So yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for popping in, Ed. We'll let you get back to the game, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Sure.
All right.
Bye.
All right, so shutting down the rifles.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Oh, we didn't mention the clock. Oh well.
No, I think they
it
noticed
should be
because
fine.
I think they noticed because they paused it, and Jeremy's like, "Well, it's my turn now. I'll just keep it on now. If they don't switch it this time, I'll message them and remind them to switch it." But again, they're not going to need all 70 minutes.
No.
The way they're going, yeah. So Jeremy has decided to go in with and these were the J boots chariots. So he certainly would have burned the boots to do that because he's going to run over this obstacle. And then he's going to get flanked by Hernius' Rangers if he doesn't pop the Iron Watch rifles. So what are the odds that he pops the rifles?
Not
Fairly
good.
low.
Yeah.
Fairly low. Yeah.
I'll also point out that I don't think those Alohi in front of Samacris have moved.
Yeah, they're in the flank.
And they could charge. They could flank the spear levy, or they could charge the Rangers to
push it over.
Which I guess wouldn't keep them off of corkscrewing into the chariots, but it's an option.
Yeah, that is true.
See, he's coming up. We're coming up against a little bit. The problem is you want to combo those Alohi units in with the chariots because an Alohi regiment plus the chariots into the front of the Iron Watch, you're going fantastic. That makes them elite, vicious, hitting on 3s, damaging on 2s, doesn't it? But because they're regiments and the size of the chariot hordes, it makes it so they don't fit very easily.
The big chariot bases are a problem for him.
And the rocks are in the way, and Ed has another unit position to crowd him out.
That's why I'm thinking, like, if you're going to go chariots, go with Alohi, because if you're going to do that, then you've got some nimble Alohi. You can go down one flank, and then you land into flanks, or you fall into small spaces, and that really just ups. because even just an Ur-Alohi into that combat, you're thinking, oh, hang on, that's now Elite Vicious. I've got Dread because I'm an Ur-Alohi, and then you've got an extra 6 attacks, etc. Plus, also you can inspire stuff because at the moment those Panther Lancers and those Chariots, well, the Chariots might be inspired in a second, but they're not inspired because there's nothing supporting them. So,
Right.
Okay, so you think if you were building this kind of list, you would rather have Elohi for the job that Jeremy needs them to do, rather than these regiments of Elohi that he has?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to go for the regiments, but he's not as if he's used his unlocks at all.
Right,
He's got Samachris, and that's it.
And
if you'd have switched out two like regiments of Elohi for 2 Elohi, you might not have got the 3rd regiment, but then you would have got maybe a little bit more flexibility. And one thing that these Panther Lancers give you is that you've got now a really good flanking unit, because Elohi stopped being a really good flanking unit as soon as they lost Nimble. You were going, I can't do that. So you were relying on things like Julius and Dragons and stuff like that to do flanking maneuvers if you were going to go that route. But now the Panther Lancers available, teaming those up with like an Ur-Alohi or Julius really does make a massive difference, because you're basically saying, right, well, I'm going to put Julius in front, and I go, if you want to charge them, I'm backed up by Panther Lancers, and if you don't, they'll just nimble in anyway. So you're going best of both worlds.
I'm also wondering, I like what you're saying about the Ur-Alohi, but I also think maybe this concept just works better with knights instead of chariots.
I didn't want to basically slam Jeremy too much at this point in time. I didn't want to turn around and go, yeah, knights actually get rid of a lot of the issues because they're a lot smaller template. They're defense 5. You could run into that shooting and not be so scared. And they've also got headstrong built in. Because the other thing you got to think about is that he's got Fury on the Panther Lancers, but he doesn't have Fury on the Chariots.
On the Chariots.
You needed an Abbess with the Fury Aura, which would have been then my other choice for the regiment of Elohi. Beast Slayer Abbess, runs in and goes, great, now I've got Fury that I can pass around. Although I have really, have you guys tried the Boots of the 7 League, like a movement 10 character? So I've played against Ed with this army, and basically I got first turn, and you got this lady in the middle of the army going, I can charge anything. What do I want to hit? So first turn, she hits the Iron Watch rifles, and they go, oh, I'm not shooting this game, am I? Nope. No, you're not. Yeah. So I didn't want to basically rant on Jeremy too much.
I think
he's trying things. He's trying.
Right.
Things.
He said at the beginning that he had intentionally taken a lot of Clash of Kings stuff, which is totally legitimate.
Yep. I do like the idea. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I said I do like the idea of the Thundercats and showcasing the changes here. But yeah, there definitely could be some slight changes to efficiency in the list.
Right.
Yep.
It does.
And I was just going to point out that he did send the Elohi regiment into Proteus's Rangers to try to keep them off of the flank of the Chariots.
And I don't think it does.
I don't think it does. I think when he backs up, he'll see them and corkscrew into them once he gets
He
Rangers
backs
out
up, pivots 90 degrees, and flanks the Chariots anyway.
Yeah.
On top of that, he also has got the Elohi now with the Slayers, and the Slayers are now not the Slayers, sorry, the Berserkers, and the Berserkers are just going to go, great, fantastic, we're going to use our Slayer. Get to use special rules. That's what Jeremy's all about. Letting us see the special rules.
He maybe didn't notice the flank on the spear levy here that he could have gotten, which, anytime you can hit a phalanx unit in the flank.
Yes.
Maybe he didn't notice it. Maybe he chose not to.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it helps that Ed is a very clever guy in many ways, but he's used to playing a fast, speedy army like this. So the best thing to do, and I don't want to say this because I like playing fast, speedy armies, but is to turtle up and just go, you've got a lot of bad choices. You'll get the charge, but I'll have lots of stuff to counter you with.
Yeah.
So he's done a good job in basically castling up, hasn't he? Turtling in a corner.
Yeah, but next turn could start going very poorly for Ed, depending on how those Panther Lancers get back into the game.
Do you like the changes to the Free Dwarf army and the stuff that Ed has taken? Not altogether.
I actually like just scouting multiple hordes of Shieldbreaker into the middle of the table, and I think between defense 4 and a fairly high nerve, that can be a pretty good thing to do. I know he at the beginning said he didn't like that, but I do.
I think he hasn't had a lot of practice with this particular army, and he's trying something different. And he's used to scouting because his normal army is all the Sylvankin tree units. And I think he's just trying to do something slightly different from that. But I think you're right. I think it just throws so many options forward, especially when they've all got throwing mastiffs as well, haven't they? So you just got basically like a wall of pretty tough dwarves that are just going to chuck stuff at you if you don't give them a chance. Oh, look at this.
Okay, so he's changed facing so that he can get line of sight.
Yep.
For some. For an Elohi regiment.
Into what? Just the Earth Elemental Regiment?
I think so. I think he's trying to protect the flank of the Elohi horde.
He can't see the Stone Priest, can he?
Question.
Probably not.
I don't know. That's going to be close. Trying a line.
You might be able to.
It'd be like just in.
It's hard to tell, isn't it? Without being able to zoom all the way in, and you just can't quite do that. Yeah.
It would,
He might.
But do you like the addition of the?
He definitely does see it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's what he's going for, but he definitely does see the Stone Priest.
And that is within range.
Going to ask?
I was just going to say, like, the other changes you got for the free dwarves, like, the Wild Charge 1, which has been spread around the army, so the Shield Breakers now get Wild Charge 1. So for some reason, the Iron Watch rifles get it as well, don't they? Which I think is just funny.
Because it's their melee 4.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you just go, I've got you. Well, actually, I've got you. Because Wild Charge 1 is always the thing you forget, isn't it? It's always the thing you go, I didn't realize you had it.
Right.
Oh,
right. What do you mean you charge an odd number of inches?
He hasn't taken any as well, but the Pathfinder on the Brock Riders.
Yes, that is a big one.
Yeah.
That does open so many opportunities. It makes them just that little bit hittier, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's budget Pathfinder too, right? Only 15 points on that upgrade for.
Yeah, that's consistent with some other armies.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, because the items tend to be priced slightly higher, so it makes sense. But being able to double up on items on the Brock Riders can turn them into a real threat now. I mean, they were before, but now they can be just like blenders.
Yeah. I don't know. Free Dwarfs didn't get played all that much around me. I don't think I've ever actually seen anybody play them in person.
I've played against a lot of free dwarves, but it was always like an Earth Elemental build because Martyr's Prayer let free dwarves support that better.
Yeah. I had a couple of people in my club that would bounce between Imperial and free dwarves fairly often. Is he going for the?
Looks like he's trying it.
Yeah.
I think what he's trying to do is work out what angle he's going to come in at him at. Yeah, it would probably end up being something like that. Yeah, there you go. He's gone for it, which is a good shout. It's a good shout. Scorched Earth, guys. How much of a difference is that going to make to the meta as a whole?
I think personally, with the limited amount of playtesting that I've done, it's going to be one of the more impactful legendary spells in the kit. As a lot of the beta strike armies, or even like Alpha versus Alpha, if you get to decide that you move up, you get into the threat range of certain other units and you're threatening them, being able to shut down Thunderous and make the opposing unit hindered is a big deal, because now you've switched the tables, you're threatening their units, and you're kind of dictating the engagement on your terms, which I think is a great buy for, 25 points at level 1?
Yeah, two dice, 25 points.
20 points.
20 points, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't shut down all of their Thunderous. It just hinders them.
No, just hinders them.
Yep.
But taking away the 1 and adding the extra.
But -1 to hit and taking away Thunderous 1. Yeah.
You could just see Fleabag Riders going, why do I bother with a horde? I mean, I've only got 1 Thunderous in the first place. Although, the new Goblin.
I mean,
regiment.
I'd also wonder why Fleabag Riders would bother with a horde, but
Yeah, for other reasons.
Yeah, although it, and this is one of the things, is it's. I think it's going to lead a little bit towards hex. I think we're going to see a lot more hex. I think
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So I was really interested. I completely forgotten the Trickster's Wand has the anti-Trickster's Wand combo, isn't it? So we're going to have quite a few people both taking it and just going, I zap your Trickster's Wand. No, I zap your Trickster's Wand.
Yep.
And just like dueling it out from about 24 inches away. Zah, zah, zah. But I think that's going to make a big thing. Barkskin as well, in certain situations,
Certain
with this
units.
dwarf army as well, it'd be because you've got quite a few defense 4 units, haven't you? So it's maybe usable. But
Yeah, I find like defense 3 would be your ideal target, as it's just really upping your success rate, and 2s is crazy. Like putting it on a zombie legion, stuff like that can get spicy.
I'm also really looking at and liking Barkskin in Trident Realm.
yeah,
Like imagine like on an
Yeah.
Ensnarer Horde or a
Yep.
Kraken where you're hitting on 3s and 4s.
Yep.
It's extremely good.
I agree there.
it would have been good on the Panther Lancers, and just like running around the corner, getting like 2 or 3 points of just additional protection is not bad at all. Although you do need to take a unit to be able to have it. But yeah.
Right. You don't see a lot of Basilian non-legendary casters.
No.
All right, so Jeremy has
we're
gone
fighting.
all in.
Okay.
And
There we
we
go.
are
If
fighting.
only he was elite. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decent
he is
conversion.
vicious.
Yes, he got vicious
Oh,
as well.
And Snake Eyes.
But he
No,
got
yeah.
the
that
double
was
one.
the vicious rerolls. That was the
Yeah,
vicious
that was
rerolls.
vicious.
But he
So
got
he's
the-
about 3 damage under average there.
Wait, no, or maybe
Oh.
he forgot he was vicious and that was the nerve roll.
Oh
He
no!
forgot.
Oh,
He's
no.
moved on.
Vicious reroll. That's the next thing. Carry on.
Ouch.
6 rolled on the next one. And over here, he sent the Lohi regiment into the front of the spear levies.
He only lost 1 hit off of it.
Yeah.
I think there
Not
might
too
have been
bad.
a slight chance the levy could have just barely fit on the Lancers, and they are threatening them with that extra wild charge right now. So
What I was going to
Also-
say. Ooh, sorry.
Pivoted the Lancers away from everything, which is, I guess maybe it just didn't matter to him which way they were facing, but they're looking at the side of the table right now, and that doesn't make much sense to me.
And that is a boxcars
So it's a
on the
waiver.
spear levy.
Yeah.
It's a waiver.
They're just all over the place.
Oh, are they not headstrong because they're free dwarfs?
Not headstrong.
They're not headstrong because they're free
Ooh.
dwarfs. Wait. The boxcar was a kill.
Ah.
And so
They're a 13-15.
and so that was the
Okay,
reroll.
okay,
That was the
okay.
oops, sorry. That was the 8 on the reroll there, so they're not wavered.
Mm-hmm.
So the spear levy has
Not
3
getting
wounds,
lucky.
but it's fine.
Yeah.
And here's the Lohi regiment on the stone priest with all the stuff.
Mm-hmm. Which he did not
Does
kill.
some moves, which he didn't kill, but he's not casting any spells next turn,
Yeah.
at least.
and that stone priest is kitted. He's got a lot of points on that boy.
So here's the
Oh, that's a good roll.
Wow.
crush
Ooh,
3.
11,
Crush
11.
3, so that is
Only
11.
11.
Oh,
Yeah.
almost got
Yep.
him. Almost got
Yep.
him.
All right.
The regiment of Earth Elementals does have a flank
Yeah.
charge on those Elohi.
The Elohi are dead because they're only good defense 4 now as well.
Yeah, he dropped him down to 4. Yeah, so this has got, well, yeah, so take your pick. Would you like to go up here and try to 3, 6, 9, 10? You could go up here and kill these chariots in the flank, or kill the Elohi. I feel like you kill the Elohi.
Yeah, and there's a good chance he still shoots. Oh, what does he have left for shooting? Not much. The bombard might be able to draw a slight line.
Coal
Berserker
arm.
Lord,
Not
isn't
without
it?
the
Berserker
Elohi in the
Lord.
way.
Oh, Berserker Lord is
Berserker-
also
Berserker
there.
Lord.
Yeah, that's definitely.
He doesn't get to use the Blade Beast there because obviously chariots are super immune to everything, right? That's the other thing you have to
Right.
remember.
We're looking at the
Right.
chariot meta.
Mm-hmm.
I am liking that. We've always said chariots are where they are now. Is we've been at the place, haven't we, where chariots are the hotness, and we were taking them because they were shooting lots of stuff. They were like rocket
Yeah.
launcher platforms and just like running
Yeah.
them forward, blasting stuff. And now they're less hot. but they've always kind of just not been quite in the right place. So do you think the fact that they are ignoring things like Rampage and Slayer is just a little like kind of tip of the hat, trying to get them into a place where people will take them?
I think it definitely is. I don't know if it succeeds in that, but I think that's the intent.
Yeah, it's some incentive, and I mean, like we're seeing here, they're so big and wide. It's hard to maneuver them. They present a lot of real estate for people to hit. So I think it makes sense for them to they're already weird, so it's fine to just say they're their own class of thing. They don't fall into these broad buckets of big things and little things that we've added special rules for.
Yeah, I think it's nice. I think it's we try to because no matter which way you kind of go with it, I like the fact they're shooting now. They aren't shooting platforms. They've got a bit of combat, but a lot of the time you look at them and they go, they're not as good as knights because they're not as the defense isn't as high, and as you say, they've got big templates. So it's got to be something that kind of balances them out a bit more.
Yep. So I mean the situation that Jeremy's in here is it's definitely never what you want to see if you're playing an Alpha Strike army, and that is I went all in on turn 2 and didn't even waver anything. But he single charged everything, and that's also something I used to play a largely flying Abyssal army, and one thing I learned is don't go all in with single charges everywhere. Pick the 2 or 3 combats you want to win, double charge into those,
burst through,
versus spreading out everywhere.
And like we talked about earlier, I think the chariot frontage really hurt him in that regard, and kind of forced him to take single charges where smaller units would be able to
double
fit.
tap. Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that the chariots are vicious as well. I mean, I'm liking the new sisters. I mean, the new sisterhood is good. So, I'm liking the abbess with the aura of fury. Even the infantry are worth taking.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of I don't think you want to go necessarily as full ham as he has here. I like the dictator as well. The dictator works really well with the knights, with his new. You guys over there just self-flagellate yourself a little bit so you can get psyched up. But it's worth taking D3 damage, isn't it, to get vicious on a unit of knights? Yeah. It's great quality. I can actually use the really cool dictator model as well. Everybody wants to use the cool dictator model. And he comes as a good option now instead of taking a abbess. But it's not looking fun for Jeremy at this point in time.
No.
Yeah, because even the Iron Watch's counter punch is going to hurt on 4s and 4s.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Oh no, he must be taking that flank with the Rangers. Given what if the Berserkers are ending up there.
Oh, he's going ham on that Elohi Reg. So yeah, you might be. Because Hunters aren't slobs in combat either, are they? Because are they elite all round, aren't they? I can't remember.
I think so. Oh no, they're only elite in ranged.
Yeah.
But they're 12 attacks on 4s with crush
CS1, yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be 24 on 3s and 3s. Or, excuse me, 4s and 3s.
Yeah, that's enough to push it over. Yeah.
And there's Hernius getting out of the way.
Oh, he still wouldn't be able to do the disengage there.
Yeah, he's still in the way there.
Yeah. I think the only option is going behind the horde, which then could potentially affect his reform. To face towards the Panthers coming around the rock.
Hernius could also just go double.
Oh, that's right. He
really needs to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could get into the flank of the chariots, and he wouldn't be in the way of the Rangers at all because they've got to stay down here because of where these Alohi are positioned. So yeah, he could just throw Hernius into the flank of the chariots.
He couldn't because he'd be crossing the lines between Hernius and the Rangers. Because Hernius would have to end up on the bottom from our perspective.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, and now the shield breakers are a little bit in the way, too.
Well, look, it's UB. I don't know what you guys have been
like. These Alohi are doing a much better job protecting the flank than we thought they would.
All right, let's take that back and try it again.
Stuff is in the way.
having gone back to real life and actually playing games in real life now, I've got so lazy with UB. You just turn around and go, why can't I just move the unit back? I can just what's going on? I've actually had to. You have to retrain yourself to play the war game, and we've been talking about. I'm going to have to. Those little corners you put on the edge of units, don't you? I'm just going to buy a load of those, and every time I move a unit, I'm going to put a corner on it, and then I could never forget where it is. I say I'll do that, and I'll completely forget, and then go, oh God, I can't take it back. Damn.
A bunch of our guys have the corner things now that I think it's Tim out of Omaha makes that just say undo button on them.
Nice. Yeah, I try to just keep a stack of blank proxy bases with me and just do the turn with the proxies, and then when I'm sure that's where I want them, then pick up the units and move them.
So
I do that for like the first 2 games.
Bases? Is that what it is? They now use a UUB base. That's what they call it.
I do those for like the first game or maybe 2 games in a data tournament, and then by the second or third game, I've forgotten about it, and I'm back to sliding shit around on the table.
Oh, he's not taking the flank. Interesting.
He doesn't need to. Yeah.
And especially if he puts the Brocklord. Maybe not.
He's put Bannock, hasn't he? Has he put Bannock into the side of the chariot so that they can't get past him as well? Or Hernius, sorry.
Hernius. I don't know what Hernius is doing. Hernius definitely can't be there.
He's doing his best.
He's got to be in the flank of one of them.
Dodgy Hernius. Okay. Well, that sounds right. Yeah, Dodgy Hernius. There you go.
He's got to be in the flank of one of the other islands, is all I can figure. So.
Yeah. He also could have put the Brocklord in on the chariots if he wanted to try to kill them this turn, but...
Here comes him shooting. Yep.
On to shooting. So this is going to be the special character into those guys.
It's got to be a fireball.
What's his name again? Kolarn? Bannock Kolarn?
4 hits, 2 wounds with Shatter.
If you remember Shatter.
Shattering?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because, that's pretty easy kill territory. And are they out of the Elohi? No, they're still in.
Of the Horde, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Line of sight there. Are they height 4? They are not.
They are height 3.
So,
he could definitely have seen them.
With the Bombard? I thought that's what he was
Bombard.
Yeah, sorry. I saw the circle go over there, but yeah, he's changing targets.
I mean, he may have decided he couldn't see, which he definitely can't. But yeah, shooting Panthers makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's going to be a real pain to those Panthers, isn't it, for the rest of the game? Because it doesn't have the units to deal with them.
And that's part of why I think he didn't take the flank, because the only way to get the shield breakers out of the way would have been just back them up and get flanked by Panthers.
You know what would be great to go down there and take care of that war engine, an Urlohi.
Or a regiment of Panthers, maybe? I don't know. Right? Who needs them? Apparently not Jeremy, because he's just going to keep missing. Well, how come is it like, whenever I face war engines, you go, ridiculous number of hits every single time. But Jeremy's like, yeah, I've got stealthy Panthers. You just don't realize it. Yep, they've got every rule under the book. So what are we looking at this? I mean, it's going to be tough for Jeremy from here, isn't it?
Yeah. The one benefit, I mean, actually, there's a lot of game left for him to get into position for tokens, so that's not even an issue at this point.
Okay, I'm guessing that's the nerve check on the chariot horde that he shot with fireball.
Now, does he remember Shatter?
That
will be the difference.
It's wavered, yeah.
Yeah, because they're 16-18, so it would make it 17.
Oh, yeah, that's 17, yes.
Yeah. This time it doesn't matter.
Because of his maneuver, because he just flat out just maneuvered them. Do you know if he'd have just turned them actually the other way rather than that way, he'd actually be looking at something?
He'd be looking at the flank of the spears, yeah.
Do something. Yep.
All right, so here's the Iron Watch.
Well, they're really
Much of the
hitty, aren't they,
church
with
back.
25 attacks?
Yeah.
I'm just going to scratch that up. Number 2. Here we go.
Does that count as a separate though? Because he seems to just, yeah.
You know, I wrote all these lists out. It took me like an evening, right, to write all these lists out, so everybody knew exactly what they were taking, and it was clear. I even had people to check to make sure that they're all
711,
good.
611. That's going to be a waiver.
They do have Fury,
No,
right? No,
Okay.
these ones don't have
No,
Fury.
no,
These
they
ones
don't.
don't have Fury.
No.
Oh
because he
no!
didn't take an Abyss, because, you know, an Abyss would be a good idea with 3 chariot hordes,
Yeah, this
because
is where
a
the
Fury
25
Aura would be nice. Anyway, carry on.
All right. So here's the Rangers, the Berserkers, and the Brock Lord on the Regiment of Alogi.
Oof.
All right,
Yeah,
good
that's
solid
a good
start from the
That's a
Rangers.
good conversion.
It's not bad, is it? I have to say, Ed's dice have been relatively hot, you know? Relatively hot.
Yeah. The
Mm-hmm.
first round of shooting definitely helped, but there was a good volume going in.
He's forgot the Slayer. Not that he needs it, but he's forgotten the Slayer.
He has forgotten about Slayer.
That's okay. He just loaned those attacks to the Iron Watch.
Still managed.
Yeah, but
to
he
do
doesn't get
damage.
Slayer against chariots. Come on, Mike. Come on, right?
Oh my goodness.
Oh!
Whoa!
Doesn't even need the Blade of the Beast Slayer.
Oof.
Oof. Damn, boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
And a 12.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
This is where you follow up with the double ones just to be nice.
Stop it. Make it stop.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ. Oof.
That
All
was
right.
just painful. Painful. Oh, those chariots. Oh. Just going.
Oh.
Oh.
yeah.
Now, if the
No.
Alohi live here, the Horde, that would be
Yeah, if the Horde lives, we're in an interesting spot. The regiments,
that is the
I
big-
can't
yeah,
imagine are dying.
Now,
Maybe
unfortunately,
the one fighting the Earth Elementals, but
it looks like Ed has put his shield breakers in an effort to get them to the point where they can't be charged by the Panthers. The Panther Lancers next turn, he's put them too close to be able to reform the Rangers the way he wants.
Mhm.
And also, he's not
Um,
stopping the Panther Lancers either, where he is.
He's not stopping them from hitting the Iron Watch rifles, but I don't know that one of them can fit in there
Oh,
with the shield breakers.
ooh, good point. Yeah, because they're going to be 4 inches. Are they 4
they'd
inches?
have to
deep?
be 4
Yeah.
inches. It's very
Yeah.
close, but also they may have agreed that they couldn't fit.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't know.
Are Rangers 24 inches for their shooting?
Yes,
Yes.
with a light
It would
crossbows. Yeah.
honestly be worth just taking the advance here.
The overrun to get him within range of the Panthers.
Yeah, and then not be
Yeah.
hindered on the next round of shooting.
He will stop when he hits
Yeah,
Hernius, though,
Hernius.
won't he?
Yeah, they'll
That's
only go,
That
enough.
should still put him in.
That gets him in range.
Does it?
they'll only go forward
now-
an inch.
Of course, Jeremy could
So-
just
Could
back
back
up in
up, yeah.
response to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. It's probably worth doing.
There's not a lot of other
just-
options there.
I mean, are you gonna? I suppose you don't sacrifice Samacris. You try and chip some damage, don't you, onto the hunters? Maybe with that. The chariots aren't doing anything apart from just sitting there, aren't they, at the moment?
All right, he's rolled something for a reform.
I think that might be a
He's going to
sidestep. There you go.
sidestep the Berserkers. Okay. To give himself some room to breathe with the Rangers,
Yeah,
which I guess he's now going to try to sidestep.
it's
or
not.
turn.
I don't.
No.
He didn't think that gave him room to pivot. It definitely doesn't.
No.
He's determined, though. I'll give it to him. You know, he's already cheated a few times, so might as well
Okay.
maximize this as much as possible. You'll start seeing units
Sure.
being nudged slightly. You know, they suddenly start
Yeah.
just like traveling across the table.
But it is equal opportunity cheating because he's both cheating Jeremy and himself with different rolls at different times. So
yeah, that's it. Yeah. Is that how we do it? Is it forgot Slayer makes up for the fact that he's using extra attacks? Got you right. Yeah.
Well,
Right.
he also forgot shattering.
and forgot shattering.
I
Jeremy's
already had that
also
one down
forgot
as well.
vicious,
Yeah,
which
Yeah.
And Jeremy forgot vicious. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
This is what happens when you try to play with a book that's like 1 week old and nobody's had
Mhm.
time to really read it yet.
chariots have always had vicious. Anyway, carry on.
Yes, but
Yeah,
no
but-
one took
yes.
them.
But no one played with
Nobody
them
took them, yes, good.
till now.
Yes.
Okay, so here we go. Spears into the Loki regiment. Looks like they're going to
pretty
do
good 3 damage. Yeah.
Yep.
3 and
Oh,
Yeah.
that was
Fine.
close.
9 to 12. Nope, they'll be
Yeah.
okay. So they will
Iron
Iron Resolve.
He actually gets to use Iron Resolve.
Now,
This is the big one.
Oof.
This is the
yeah,
big one.
now
this is the
Fours
unit
to hit
are
though.
gonna get
Fours to
iron.
hit. Fours to...
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Fours
that's,
to
my
hit.
that's
God.
fours. Those are the fours I know.
Oh, that's Earth Elementals.
This
Wing
is
it
why
Can
all
I
the
just say
hammers
I'm
are threes
prophetic there? Can I just say John knows what he's talking about, right? And then Kragoth goes and hits 12 times. But let's
now. Oh, yeah.
All right, let's see what he
doesn't-
does.
He doesn't get Slayer, so we know he doesn't get that.
Ooh.
Oh, only 5 hits as well.
So this is a big one.
Hold
And 2
on.
ones.
3.
And 2 ones.
Yeah, so these are low heat.
Hold up.
That's
That could be a dead Kragoth.
That's
should
a
be
12
dead
twice?
Kragoth.
What is that?
Yeah, 12 twice because
Yeah.
there's brutal on one of them, right?
16 doesn't do it.
And are they fearless?
Yeah.
They
yeah.
are.
They're
Oh, yeah,
low heat.
yeah.
Fearless
But they're
17.
Yeah,
low heat,
they're-
man, come on.
They should
We've
be
been
able
using
to
a
go in
low
and just
heat.
kill Kragoth.
Mm-hmm. And shutting down
Oh.
Martyr's Prayer really helped there.
Did he forget to fight
Yep.
with the Horde?
There's definitely
did.
a Earth Elemental Horde that has not hit a Lohi.
Mhm.
If he tries to, oh no, yeah, not the end of turn 3, is it?
Oh,
It's always the way though. We'll get to it, and like Jeremy will go, "Oh, these Elohi did all right, didn't they? They didn't get. Oh no, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait. No, wait.
okay.
Oh.
So Jeremy's seeing if he fits. They
Yeah,
didn't
they're
talk about it
just.
beforehand.
Yeah, that's going to be a no.
I'd call
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
no. Looks
No.
like they said no. Okay.
Yeah.
You do not fits. You do not sits.
Which means that unit probably just positions where the other unit takes the flank.
No, he can't even disengage that. He's on 2 fronts.
Yep.
A 4-inch backup probably puts them an inch away from everybody, but I don't know how
I
that.
don't think it
benefits
does. I don't think because you look at Hernius, he's in the middle of the unit, so he's an inch and a half. So even if he goes back 4 inches, he's still going to have.
He's
Yeah, and
gonna be
you-
an inch and a half away.
You can't even do it though because they're engaged on 2 fronts. You can't
You
disengage,
can't.
right?
Yeah.
You don't
can
get the free
disengage.
1-inch.
Oh, sorry, you
withdraw,
can't. You can't
But
withdraw.
yeah, you can just back him up 4 inches like he did, and now he's an inch away from Hernius. That is legal.
Is that right? I thought you couldn't. I thought you couldn't
Yeah.
disengage if you were engaged on 2 fronts.
Nope.
Yeah.
You don't.
can. Yeah.
You can disengage. You don't get the free 1-inch withdraw, but you can just move away.
What?
Yeah.
That just blew my mind because I always just tried to shut down flyers with 2 sides just to make sure this could not happen.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Interesting.
I'll have to go back and reread.
Yeah.
Check the rule book. Let's see any way to be 100%, and then check the FAQ.
So can you
We're-
move backwards without?
We're having
using-
this discussion right now.
Yeah.
We're unsure if I can just move backwards there since I can't withdraw because of Hernius is in my flank. But I
To the
my
rule book.
backwards.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now.
Okay,
Because
cool.
to my understanding, you can't, but we are
Okay,
split
we
on
weren't-
this.
we weren't sure, so
Yeah, we're split 2 to 2.
Mhm.
okay. Well, I'll keep doing my rest of the turn. Does Mike? You just want to put in the chat?
I'll put it in the chat. Yep.
Okay. So
I love the fact Jeremy just dives in. Hey, how's it going? All right. Everybody else just like sticks it in the chat and you me, but Jeremy's like, nope,
Right.
I'm important. I need to have FaceTime. Yeah. I mean, a Panther Lance is going to get the. I'm watching the flank. They probably are,
Oh, absolutely. One of those
mhm.
regiments is taking that for
Yeah.
sure.
but it's going to be 4s and 3s, isn't it? So they could do an Earth Elemental, and
Right. They get way more dice than those Earth Elementals, though.
It's true, but we've all done it. Come on, right? We've rolled like 30 dice and rolled only like 3 4s. I'm really liking the Panther Lancers. The Panther Lancers because they're a regiment size as well, giving them things like strength and sharpness on those. It does take away from some of the other units, but I think just by giving sharpness on one really changes the unit into a lot more reliable unit.
Okay, they're going to go back to do that miscombat, the Elohi regiment and the Earth Elemental Horde. What do you think, Jesse? Do you think you can back up?
I'm still reading through it. Like I said,
Okay.
to the best of my knowledge, it wasn't possible. But since we're split, I'm really trying to find where it
Look at
states
that. Look at what damage has just happened to that Elohi regiment. He's
Holy
going to
cow.
survive the turn. Well, no, he doesn't have to put the damage down because you iron resolve it, mate.
He'll-
So
he'll
it's
iron
fine.
resolve it.
How?
This is
Wow.
hammers on fours.
Mhm. No,
Yeah,
this one's
super
on
duper
3.
swingy.
Oh,
This one
Yeah.
had
okay,
sharpness.
never mind.
Is that the
Yeah.
sharp
It
one?
still only did
Oh,
one.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
7 ones, wasn't it? 7 ones. He managed to roll on 18 dice. Come on, it doesn't take that long to read it, Jesse. Come on, right? You know,
I can't even find it.
English
Yeah,
is your
I'm
first
doing
language, isn't
Control
it?
F
Come
through
on.
it. I mean,
Come on.
barely. I never claimed to be a scholar in any capacity.
And also, didn't they replace the entire section in the FAQ anyway? Didn't they?
Oh, is that
Yeah.
what? Is that why we can't find it? Because it's in the FAQ.
No, it's still in the rule book, but Jesse will find it, and then it'll be completely the wrong thing to do anyway. So
All
we need
right,
to
let me
check.
look at the FAQ.
If a unit begins its turn engaged with one or more enemy units on a single facing only, it may make a free withdraw and move directly away from the unit up to 1 inch before carrying out its normal movement order. All applicable measurements. I'm wondering if this is one of those like
It's
assumed rules.
Yeah,
that Nick
so
was
like
talking about.
Yeah, so like the withdraw specifies if a unit begins its turn engaged with one or more enemy units and a single facing only, it may make a free withdraw move directly away from units 1 inch. So you can't do that. Disengaging, during a game, units may begin their turn engaged with enemy units. When such units are given a movement order other than halt or countercharge, they are said to be disengaging. Disengaging units may move within 1 inch of an enemy unit and they were engaged with at the beginning of the turn. They must still move at least 1 inch away from any enemy units unless charging. So it doesn't specify anything about being the two sides. It only specifies that in the withdraw function, and they're very specific about that.
That's why I think they can just back up 4 and end an inch away from Hernius, because he's not using the 1 inch withdraw to do it.
This is blowing my mind.
Blow my mind, man.
Honestly.
Could just out of interest, could those Panther Lancers, you reckon, the ones that have actually engaged, turn enough that they're still offering front to the siege breakers, and then block a charge into their front by using the other Panther Lancers? Are the other Panther Lancers in arc? Just check for that for a second, Mike.
You're talking about the ones on the bottom are not within the front arc of the shield breakers.
Yes. So do you reckon they could turn the ones that are engaged enough so that they block a charge from the shield breakers onto them by using the other Panther Lancer unit? So the one on the left turns enough. So
You mean
maybe
pivoting towards the bottom of the board?
Yeah.
Okay, so do we now think that Jeremy can back up the chariots? He just doesn't get the free
100%.
1 inch?
Yeah, I mean, I can't
100%.
find anything that is stating otherwise. So,
but again, you say it is the perceived rule, isn't it? It's something that you just can't.
oh, absolutely. Like it's always been the way down here. So this is going to change some things.
Mm-hmm. Who's that 32 dice for?
Yeah, it's the Panther Lancers.
Panther Lancers in the
Oh, he just went on to combat.
Yeah.
Oh, and he must have healed the chariots for 3 with Samacrest.
Yep.
He forgot the vicious again. I'm gonna put that down as another one, right? You know.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to get better at the sisters. That's or he's gonna lose his Basilian license and he's not gonna be able to use them ever again.
That's a 9 and a 7 on the Dwarf Spear Levy. Did I get them? No.
No, yeah. A 9 would not get them, would it? No, because they only put them. No, wavered, yes, yeah, because they're 13, 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, they're only 4, not 7. Okay.
And then 2 to the Earth Elemental Horde won't mean anything, but what did you expect? And then the Crush 3 unit.
which barely damaged as well after taking a charge in the flank and Kragoth in the front.
Right?
Who needs defense 5? Who needs defense 5?
Throw some rocks there. Jeez.
And they did 10 more and killed them.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that one was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As soon
Wow.
as the regiment got that awful hit roll, we knew where that was going.
Yeah, jeez.
Okay. I don't know if he saw what I wrote. So if he asks again, I'll tell him again that we think he can.
Maybe he
Back
decided
up.
he didn't want to back them up anyway. He doesn't need to do it. I don't want to do it, you know?
So the backup would put the Rangers in their
In
front.
the front. Yeah.
I think is the reason you would do it.
Yeah.
It also puts you in Arc of the Berserkers, though.
Yeah, it would give a flank to the Berserkers, which is a
Yeah.
fun treat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What the Berserkers got to see, though, anyway, are they going to be charging into the Alohi Reg on the hill? Can they do that? Possibly. No, because the Wavered Spears are going to get in the way, aren't
Yeah,
they?
not without being nimble. He doesn't have Arc to the regiment over there, I don't think.
Yeah. So I think this is one of those things that usually won't come up because normally it's if it's a unit that's got any link to its base, nobody's going to be able to back up far enough to get to end an inch away from it. But it's just because Hernius
Right.
is so small.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
he's asking again about the chariots.
There they go. Bye. And now they've just put themselves in a flank for the Berserkers.
And
But there you
then-
go.
He only backed up 4 inches, which is half their movement, and
Yeah.
he's an inch away from
Yeah.
Hernias.
Well, if he doesn't go the full distance, he could avoid that.
Oh,
But he's got to end at
Does-
least a full inch away from Hernius.
he's
so
got
he can only
he's
move
got
up
some
half.
he's
wiggle-
got room to do
he's
it.
got wiggle room there. He has
I
about
don't
half an inch.
Mhm.
think he's
Yeah.
using that wiggle room. It doesn't look like, but he's got
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
He may not notice. Yeah. So this is just one of those things that it's an assumed rule because it will so very rarely ever come up.
Yeah. Yeah, I always thought that was just the way to lock them
Oh,
down.
here's Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey,
Yeah. So by our reading, it's legal. You don't get the free 1 inch withdraw, but you get your normal backup. You just have to end a full inch away from Hernius.
and that's
And
what I
this is-
thought it
This
was.
is a rule that people just assume you can't do because there's very rare circumstances where the unit in your flank is so small and your speed is so high that you even
Yeah.
can back up and end an inch away.
Mhm.
So most people just
Right.
it
Mhm.
like 99 out of 100 cases of people getting flanked, getting charged on two
Yeah.
sides, they wouldn't be able to do it. But in this one weird one, you can.
I
Yeah.
think it's going to come up most often if neither of the sides are your front. So you can just move double forward
Mhm.
Sure, yeah,
away from people. Is probably where it's most likely to come up.
yeah. So
Assuming
so
you
if
survive getting charged multiple facings that aren't your front.
right, so if all you did was the chariot's normal backup and you didn't take the free inch, then you're good.
Sure. Okay. That's what I sort of thought, and that's what we both sort of thought. We just wanted to get your guys'
Yeah.
opinion on it.
Oh.
Yep.
Jeremy is talking to you in the Facebook
uh,
chat there. Or,
Ed,
sorry,
Ed
Ed
is
is
talking
talking
to
to
you.
you, Jeremy.
Oh, is he?
Oh.
Yeah, he's pointing out the thing that we were discussing right before Jeremy got
Yep.
here that we didn't know if he knows or not. So we'll let you go back to your game and check that out. But
And come back in because we still got to do the end of turn
Yeah, is this
3,
our
haven't we?
normal Jeremy
Oh.
interview time?
Yeah, because Jeremy just pops in when he wants to, but this is
No, I thought
actually the designated time.
I thought I was supposed to come in after my turn 3.
You
you are, yes,
You are.
you are.
So I just did my turn 3.
Okay, you're all the way done. But Ed is letting you know that you've left something in a state that you might not want to leave it.
Oh no, that unit's dead anyway, so it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, well then let him know it's fine. Oh, you
So
said
he's
go
already
for
done it. He's already put in. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Ed's too nice. He doesn't. He just accept it. He's already come back and said you can shuffle it. It's fine. And
Yeah.
he's like me. I will do things like that and just go, yeah, but I don't want to feel. I've got an advantage for no reason. There. Anyway, how do you think it's going? Anyway, Jeremy. I mean, it's been a tough couple of turns.
Not
apart from
super
that
great.
Alohi horde.
Yeah, not super. Out of besides that flub on the Alohi horde, I was hoping that he'd shoot off maybe one chariot horde, but the
Yeah.
fact that he wavered the one on the far right, that totally screwed that whole side of the board.
Yep.
I had to pivot them a weird way to get the Alohi, and I just wanted to get the Alohi into the Martyr's Prayer guy because I felt if I got lucky, I could kill Kragoth, but not if he got a Martyr's Prayer off.
Yep. That was a great call.
So but scenario wise, I'm still actually looking okay.
That's the big thing right now.
And now I'm in pure scenario mode. He's killed enough stuff that I'm just going to be doing maybe strange stuff, but I'm going just full scenario. If my Panther Lancers can get some damage here in the next turn, just take off some of his unit strength. I'm not even worrying about his characters at this point. That's sort of the goal. But
I will say this: we were feeling really bad for you. When on turn 2 you went in with everything and didn't even waver any units. We were like, oh god! So the board state is a lot better for you right this second than we kind of expected it to be by the end of this turn.
I needed the flub.
You needed the elemental flub.
Yeah,
I needed that desperately. So that kept me in. I think that flub is kept me in the game. But we're gonna have to see.
So.
I would agree with that.
Yep. Kept it interesting.
Well, thanks,
fellas.
All
right, man. Thanks. Yeah. Good luck.
Good luck,
thanks.
man.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I think he's going down the right route, isn't he? And just going right. What can I do to secure some objectives? Because he's got to be on super firefight mode at this point in time.
Yeah.
What would you be your priority targets at this point then? Because his Panther Lancers. This is the one thing I didn't also like about the withdrawal with the chariots. Is now means the hunters.
They're
Are they out of the arc? Are they out? No. If he backs up, he probably will put them in, won't he? Is that right? So I'm thinking about the Panther Lancers there. Yeah, those guys. They might be able to go into the hunters if they back up, but that's all dependent if they don't get. Because shield breakers could have a good shot at killing them in one go, don't they? Because they're on 3s and 2s.
They do. It all depends on what the hunters do after they kill the chariots.
Yeah.
The big issue now, though, is that flank allowed the berserkers a significant speed bump to get towards the middle of the board.
Yep.
Right.
Which definitely hurts.
But to Jeremy's point, I do think with those Panther Lancers basically free to do whatever at this point, they can pick up a lot of regiments of defense 3 or 4 dwarves. And Samachris can be fireballing stuff too.
Yeah. And the Brock Lord looks like the Brock Lord is going to go try to finish off the Sharp Chariots.
Oh, interesting.
Fair.
Yeah, because then from there he just runs over and gets rid of these Gur Panthers and.
Yeah, he can do. Yeah.
And that Alohi regiment. Oh, Hernius is going to try to disorder them. Never mind. I thought they were going to be free to do whatever, but Hernius has that covered.
Well, you hope he does. He's only got 3 attacks, hasn't he, Hernius? Is that right?
Yeah, he might whiff.
Might whiff. He's been a very good job of whiffing recently, hasn't he? Let's be honest. What do I need to whiff? Oh, I've done it.
Yeah, there was a stark contrast between 1 and 2.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's true. Yeah. He great on the Ironwatch rifles. Crap on the sharpness earth elementals. Oh, I love it.
Okay, and it looks like he's. You know what? I'm not going to say that because I don't know what the priest is doing.
He's got to be going for a heal somewhere, hasn't he? Probably.
Could be trying to Bane chant the shield breakers, but aren't they already wounding the Panther Lancers on 2s?
Yeah, he might actually be looking to scorch earth the bottom Panthers as well.
That might be it. Yeah,
that's a good idea.
He's trying to fireball them, but he's out of range, so it might be a scorched earth.
Putting them up to melee 5 with no thunderous makes them not very threatening.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's why Scorched Earth is such a good little spell, isn't it? It is such a good little spell.
Very good.
Yeah.
I need to turn off one of your hammers for 1 turn.
Which, I mean, in a lot of cases, the big difference. After all the positioning that you've done throughout the game, setting up, taking that away can be pivotal.
All right, so here comes the hooting phase.
Yep.
Fine. Okay.
Yep, Scorched Earth.
Here we go. Good call by Jesse.
Oof.
Okay. So
All
multiple
right.
hits don't do anything with this spell, but he hit.
But it's very scorched.
Yeah, that's it. Ah, it's hot. Ah, jeez. Ah. It's a good call. Are you tempted then with the Panther Lancers in that scenario then to possibly even just hoof it out and just go, sod it, I'm going. I can't look at do any damage. Could take an objective.
Here's Hernius. Does manage to do a wound, so he does put them on the ground.
I think the answer to your question would depend on whether or not the shield breakers kill the other regiment.
Yeah.
Because a flank of Panther Lancers into shield breakers, even on 5s and 4s with vicious, that messes them up pretty bad and might just kill them.
Yeah.
Especially since they aren't inspired.
Yes.
Shield breakers on Panther Lancers coming up.
Yeah, 3s and 2s. It's got like for 130 points. Shield breakers are well worth it on those.
Absolutely.
I think he remembered that he has the bombard.
Ooh.
And it's missed
Oh,
again.
yeah.
Okay, he missed, but he remembered to do it. Or no,
Oh,
one
there
of
it
them were
is.
Hernias.
One of Hernius, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So 3 hits.
So he does get a hit.
And
That'll
does
do 3
damage.
wounds. Yeah,
Did he not get a 1? Then he's damaged them.
right. But only a 4, so they're okay.
They are okay.
Yeah, okay. What are they in range of? Are they actually in range of the bombard from there?
I don't think so.
No, they're not.
They don't have Iron Resolve, do they?
Yes, they do. I
They
think.
do? Okay.
Let's double check.
They do.
They do? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Shows
there we
how
go.
much I know
So
about
I don't know how he
Oof.
managed to do it, but he's managed to flub it.
Jesus, 4 wounds.
Wow.
And an
And
8, so it's a 12.
Nope,
That
they're
is-
14, 16.
So 14, 16. That is not
Alright.
enough.
Yeah, they've
That
got a
does
surprising amount of
massive
nerf for
difference.
their cost.
Man. This game is just like kind of a massive whiff fest going on here, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
apart from
everybody.
the hunters, the hunters are just going, yeah, and
Yeah,
don't they
we're
have
good.
12 attacks, not than 10?
They just
but-
really don't like cats.
Chariots are made out of wood, aren't they? We got axes. We're good.
Yeah.
I'm
Ouch.
just checking if they realize that
The
Rangers have
Rangers
12
Rangers
attacks.
do have 12 attacks, but
Not that it makes a difference.
Didn't need them.
does not.
I'm adding it to the list. Rangers.
He also just
Oh,
didn't
okay.
roll the Berserkers, but it's fine.
I mean, yeah. At that
Yeah, he didn't bother. They
It's one of
they-
those things where if you double ones, then you go back to see how devastated that thing's going to be.
Yeah. He didn't
Is
need it.
Samachris in Arca the back of those hunters now? No.
Democris is facing
Amicus is looking
upward.
the wrong way.
Yep.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
right,
He's
okay.
looking up and away.
Yeah. And the hunters need to face that way because the Panthers can
Mhm.
just disengage and charge them.
Yeah, Panthers are going to struggle though.
Yeah.
After being stripped of their Thunderous.
So here's the Horde, Earth Elemental Horde.
They can't
Only 8
slug
hits.
twice.
Still slightly
Alright.
under.
No, these are sharpness.
11 hits.
So
Oh,
11
sharpness.
hits.
Yep.
At least 11 hits there. Looking for
Only
what,
5.
4s? So only 5, yeah. Only 5 wounds. And then the character in the flank.
Oh, there's a character in the flank.
Oof.
Oh,
Who
man.
noticed him? Nobody noticed him in the
With
flank.
how many attacks?
He didn't even notice himself. What the hell?
6.
5
That's
attacks.
Bannock, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Bannock does have 6
Yeah,
attacks.
Bannock has
What?
6 on 4s with
Weird.
He
crushing
only hit
2.
once. And that doesn't take him off.
Nope.
Yeah, Bannock is a
Alright.
weird one, isn't he? Because he's got like a spellcaster. But
Yeah,
has got
he's
quite
like
a bit
that
of a-
weird. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's those weird hybrid melee casters that.
4 hits, only 1 wound
Yeah.
on the Horde.
Just
Yep, they're good. That wound's
They're
back,
fine.
Mm-hmm.
and they will eat that regiment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they will. And now
Crushing
the
strength 3 Alohi is not something that I thought that I was going to be seeing anytime soon, and I'm terrified of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was
the
surprised he
Brocklord does
went that
3, gets an
route.
11.
I have
That'll
to
pick
admit.
up the chariots.
I'd have
They're
gone,
inspired, aren't they?
No, I guess they're.
Oh, maybe they're not.
and they are, and he rolled a double 1.
The Symmachus very inspiring.
No, it's the
The
Elohim.
The Elohim.
The
So it's just
Elohim.
double one there. So there's a
Not within
Berserker Lord.
No, they're not
enticing
within.
and close
They're
enough,
not actually
but
within 6.
No.
Oh, Samacris not
No.
within 6 either.
No.
no.
Okay, that's another one onto the cheat list. They're just basically what they're doing, right? Is they're just
just
rewriting
trading
the
it.
game, just rewriting the game, right? They might as well do it for on stream. Yeah.
Well, some impactful ones too.
Very
What is-
interesting.
What is the range of inspiring? Okay, just checking.
So Ed should be popping back in here in a minute.
Mhm.
Man, I don't know what's happening in this game anymore. I got to be honest. This is
I love it. This is
it's all
great.
throw everything out the window.
Because those chariots are they the sharpness ones, aren't they? Those chariots, right?
Yeah,
Yes!
they get back in the
Chariots.
game,
Are they
So
not
they'll
even
actually get to do
disordered?
something for the first
So-
time all game.
and
They're
there
not even
is
devastated.
there is
Oh,
a
man.
very small chance that on a 6 overrun would then come into the flank of the elementals just for fun.
Okay. They don't
Yeah.
have any of their Thunderous though.
No, and he's only
It's true.
defense 4 though. He is only defense 4.
With
Thundersword's only
so does
defense
it
4.
20
He's
on
got-
2s and 4s with vicious. Yeah.
He doesn't have vicious, does he?
not
I
vicious?
think somebody's so. They didn't
No,
have
sorry,
vicious.
the chariots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
but
didn't have
Ed?
vicious.
He's not going to remember Vicious.
Sorry,
yes.
yeah.
Welcome back, Ed.
Hi.
So how are you feeling about your chances at this point?
I think it's still in the balance. I've still got quite a few units. Obviously, I had some very good dice in the first couple of turns with the shooting. I've had some very bad dice.
Yep.
Earth elementals that are usually super reliable, totally failed. All of them, Kragoth, the regiment, and the horde. And a bit annoying to double one those chariots. But
Yeah.
as long as they don't kill the Berserker Lord, he should kill them next time. So we'll see. It's annoying he's got 2 lots of Go Panthers sitting on 2 tokens. That could be quite decisive in this game.
Sure.
But,
So at this point, do you think you'll have a chance to take care of those Gur Panthers in any way? Are you just going to focus on winning the combats you're in and like trying to
if
get those
everything
tokens
gets
down
out of
there?
the way, I think the Bombard does have range could shoot at the ones right far away on 60 inches.
Yep.
I haven't actually drawn a line but it might be able to see them, or it might even move next turn because it probably won't have any targets to shoot at next turn because I think everything will be in combat probably.
Mhm.
So if it just went forward, it might conceivably be able to get a shot at them. So far, it's only hit once, and that was only when I had to do it shooting out of turn because I forgot about it.
Right. All right.
But,
You've got far too nice, Ed, most of the time. I think we'll let you off, all right? So
well, I don't know. Anyway, we're both trying to be nice to each other because it's a new rule set for all of us. So I think mistakes will be made, and they certainly are getting made. So we'll see.
Yes.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right. Well, good luck with the rest of the game.
Thank you.
And we'll let you get back to it, and we'll see you back here when you guys are all done. Thanks, Ed.
Okay.
All right.
See you.
cheers,
Bye-bye.
Ed.
So yeah, the Bombard is in range. It's about 56 inches to
Yep.
those.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That was.
Yep. And Jeremy could have at any point in time shuffled them over to just
I
barely
don't
3
think
inches
Jeremy
to the
sees
left.
it.
I
But he
didn't know
doesn't-
this
he
was
hasn't
a
done that.
thing. So I mean, that's entirely possible. 60 inches is
we
not
were
a
talking
range.
about it like
Yeah,
after deployment.
yeah, I heard it
Yeah.
on the cast when I was driving. I was like,
Yeah.
huh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, I didn't know that. It's
Mhm.
it's one of those things, isn't it? Where you don't want to put the tape measure down to measure it. So he's very keen not
Yep.
to actually look. Just indicate. Is it one of those? It's like one of those surreptitious ones where you're trying to measure an angle for something else, but at the same time you just go, "I'm just going to okay, yeah." So I'm in angle with the Berserker Lord. Just checking range, and then
Yep,
fine.
you have
Yeah,
to do that.
carry on. Yeah,
It's the no look pass. It's the, you gotta
that's it.
drop one of those on at some point.
Oh, do you see out there? There's a guy running naked. Don't know if that kind of works on you, B.
Really
Probably
doesn't.
I'm going to send you a link in Facebook chat. Tab over to Facebook real quick. Okay.
Check your DMs.
Clickbait as and a half, right?
Yeah,
That
exactly.
looks interesting. Yeah.
All right. Here comes the heel, probably on the chariots, I'm guessing. Yep.
Yes.
Gets 2 of them, brings them down to 11. Still pretty fragile.
Yeah, that's still a spot where they'll probably die if they don't get the kill.
Yep. And realistically, they shouldn't bust through the Berserker. It should be like 7, 8 wounds.
Depends on if he remembers Vicious or not.
That's the bet. I think that's with Vicious.
So
Hitting 19 times helps. So
19 times on 20 dice.
Yeah.
He did only roll 20, but only 5 wounds.
He remembers the
remembers
vicious.
He remembers the vicious.
Do I cross
Converts-
one off for remembering? Do I have to do that?
No.
Okay,
Right,
so
give
that's
Ed
7.
permissions.
He's on a
7.
9 twice.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
9 twice.
He'll be
Yeah, yeah.
fine.
Ugh.
Oh,
There's
maybe.
11.
Oh.
oh.
Ah.
So
Yeah.
close.
Oh.
Oh, bummer.
I really wanted to see that overrun for 40 attacks on 2s.
Right?
And 6s.
2s and 6s. Yeah, yeah.
Not this time.
This is going to be a pretty relevant one, just for when those Elohi are able to get
Yes.
back in the game.
Which will probably be right now. 9
Uh,
wounds. So
9
that's what?
damage.
6
Probably.
twice?
6?
Twice.
Once,
So
twice.
he got them.
All right.
And
And
that's
The blender is in the game.
yeah, that's something Ed has to
Wow.
be very wary of.
Yep.
making them-
Potentially even to the point where I don't know if that's what the Brocklord wants to be doing, or if he'd rather just go for the Elohi.
He has got other options. He could put Bannock and shoot Bannock into the
Right,
chariots.
just fireball the chariots.
hmm
So that's where you're almost thinking like the regiment maybe been better off hitting Bannock to give him a few less options, but yeah. Because they're going to die either way. But then if he does... No, because the Earth Elementals would not be engaged then. So they wouldn't be able to get past the regiment no matter what they did, would they?
Ooh, I don't know about that. I think I would still face mid-board, to be honest, because then you're threatening.
I would definitely
things.
face midboard. I don't know what
Yeah.
he's doing.
Yeah.
The thing is, if that regiment of Elohi don't die, then they're actually just getting in the way, right?
Mhm.
I guess he
there's a
could go
double
hit
one.
the bombard just in case, but like, oh yeah, there's another double one.
That's not,
Not that the Earth Elemental Horde was really in danger.
Yeah.
right.
12
You-
twice.
13
So
twice.
here's
What's
13
Hernius'
yeah.
break? Is he like, what, 12, 14, something like that?
12, 14, defense
yeah.
5.
Yeah.
So he's going to need... This is where I was tempted with the regiments to make them the Crush 2 options.
There's 3 wounds, looks
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. The regiments at Crush 2 is definitely a tasty little treat. Oop.
Oh,
Look at
that's
that.
an 11.
He's got him, and he's going to have to roll again. If he gets these, he's literally just pulling out of the bag by the skid, just
8,
pure luck, isn't he?
No, that's
Yeah.
not a waiver. He's
That's
good.
one off a
That's all
waiver,
right.
isn't it?
One off.
Yeah.
11.
Very
yeah.
close.
If he was Crush 2, that would have been a waiver. I'm not going to go into it, but yeah.
If he had an Elohi for Dread nearby,
Mhm.
if he had a Dread, yeah.
we're bringing it back to that.
Yeah, we're bringing all the things, aren't we? If only you had a better army. Anyway, carry on.
It says 32 on 5s, right?
Yep.
And there's
Mhm.
9 dice.
4 wounds. Vicious.
Ooh.
Vicious.
Vicious. Is this where he's checking the thing?
Yeah.
No.
He's forgotten.
He's not vicious.
It's
Oh.
selective. Oh,
But these ones did 6 more.
Let's put for
Vicious.
10. Does he remember the vicious? Nope, straight in the nerve.
Nope.
That's an 8. That would get them.
All right, so he did kill them. They're not inspired.
yeah.
And they're not inspired.
Unless, no, it's Stone Priest is not very.
All right. But now the Rangers are looking that direction, and the Berserkers are also looking that direction. But their leader point is not in the woods.
Berserkers can't see anything, and the Rangers can't charge both of them.
Correct. Yeah,
No,
unless
don't
he
go in the
does
woods.
that.
Don't go in the
Oh,
woods.
no.
Don't do that. Oh,
Jimmy,
no.
don't go in the woods.
Yeah.
Well, their leader point isn't in the woods, so he can't see them anyway.
No, but-
that would let the Berserkers see the bottom Panther Lancers.
Yeah,
if they are at all in the woods.
They're tiptoeing in, which then gives them line of sight to the
Don't
unit.
go into the woods, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
go into
Don't do
the
that.
Don't
scary.
But don't the Berserkers have to have their leader point in the woods to be able to see?
No, because
No,
the
if
unit
any-
they're seeing is in the woods.
Yeah, by touching the woods in any capacity, you're now opening up line of
Oh,
sight.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, he should have left them.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were good. A nice little sidestep.
And I think we've moved on to Ed's turn now. So Ed is now
Seems like it.
doing shizzle.
It's going to bring us
And
to
the
bottom of
Berserkers
4.
are wild charge D3. Are they D3 +1 with the
Aren't
free
they
dwarf
just speed
change?
5?
They are speed 5, and they've
Yeah, the
also
wild
got
charge
wild charge
doesn't matter.
D3.
He's within 10 and he's speed
Oh
5.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I
But
always
they are-
picture dwarfs as 4.
I'm going to look at the answer to your question now that we've acknowledged that it doesn't matter.
I'm looking at it, and they are speed 5, and they do have wild charge D3.
Yeah.
Not D3 +1, just D3. Okay.
Well, on the sheet, it just says D3.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
lots of people take Bannock, don't they? Is it Bannock Cold Arm who gives them the actual wild charge? I can't
No,
remember.
it's
not Bannock.
very
very
something or
X.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah. But obviously, that's usually because they've taken like 4 regiments of Brock Riders as well. But Ed's not gone down that route. Yeah.
Yep.
See, these guys are just going to mince him. Why did he? Why?
I don't know.
That
I
one
don't know.
hurts.
Yeah, he could have just stayed back and sat on that token.
Or stayed back out of the
why?
woods and just threatened to flank the Rangers if they go
Yeah.
in alone against either unit.
Yeah.
But from that direction as well, they were threatening everything. They were threatening like the side of the earth elementals possibly, without having to get into the wood. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why?
So now we're looking at
Well, I guess the slight benefit
Enemies.
is that now 2 of his scoring units are in a position where it's going to be very difficult for them to get back to mid-board tokens.
That's
I
a
don't
good
think
point.
that's true.
Yeah.
Well, because it's bottom of 4, so he's got 2 more turns.
He's got 2 turns to
Yeah,
move
there's a
them.
lot of game left. I
10
take
in-
that back.
That's
Yeah.
And they
20
are fast
inches.
I keep
Kinda.
thinking we're at
There.
like 5 or 6 just with how much is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and this is where it's kind of a little bit frustrating with the Elohi. But I suppose if the Elohi you might be right that they go for the bombard. It's just whether those earth elementals pivot the right direction. If earth elementals can pivot so that they can cover the bombard with just 1 turn, then the fact he's got surge would be very, very relevant. Do the Elohi kill the earth elementals in 1 attack? They probably do, don't they?
Yeah, they've already got 5 wounds on
With
him.
5 damage on him already? Oh, yeah.
Hitting on 3s
With
and
Martyr's
moving on.
Prayer? Martyr's Prayer is going to
Threes.
come in, surely. Although he's moved him away, hasn't he? So he's not going to Martyr's Prayer him.
He's within 12.
Is he still within 12? Oh, so he could still Martyr's Prayer. Yeah.
That's got to be a martyr's prayer.
He could do
Or
that.
he's going for
Scorched Earth.
Scorched Earth on the
Again.
Elohi Horde,
Yep. Also a possibility.
which
That one
Probably-
not as effective because you're not taking away
you're
Thunderous.
not taking away
and
Thunderous.
Putting them up
It's
to
still-
4s.
Yeah, it probably does less to keep your Earth Elemental Horde alive than
Mhm.
Martyr's Prayer would.
All right, so he's got just the caster and the bombard, right? And the bombard can shoot at the
Yeah,
11.
because
Yep.
everything else is fighting.
So yeah, you could do that first and see if you just kill them with the bombard before you worry about Scorched Earthing them or Martyr's Prayer. And there's 1 hit.
I think you Martyr's Prayer your Horde either way.
Yeah, get that mitigation out.
Oof.
1
Only
wound.
2? Oh, is it
Oh
only
yeah,
Pierce
Pierce
2?
3. No, Pierce 3.
Oh, it is Pierce 3?
I keep
Okay.
thinking
Yeah.
about my.
And
But
they
they're also
are
defense 4.
they're def 4.
Oh, they're defense 4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Horde is defense 4. Yep.
So many
Okay.
changes.
Here comes the Martyr's Prayer. No, Bane Chat?
Oh, he's
Okay.
Bane chanting his Sharpness Horde.
But he fails.
But he's got Conjurers.
Successfully.
And he has a
Yeah,
Conjure
that
Staff.
guy's got to
so-
have the staff, right?
Yep, so he gets it. So he does get the Bane Chan off on the Horde.
The number of
Over
spells that he
Gets
had.
3s
yeah.
and 3s gives him a more reliable kill on the regiment.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
But he only needs to do about 4 damage, and they're going to be up to 4 twice, aren't they? Because he's
Yeah.
got
Mhm.
he's got brutal.
Yeah, but-
nerve check on the Elohi Horde doesn't get them, so they get Iron Resolve.
But
And
remember,
we're into
Earth Elementals
combat.
are extremely unreliable damage dealers. So
I haven't noticed. I thought they would.
Well, there's 15 hits.
Oh, geez, yeah.
no,
Maybe
this is
nice.
normal. They do 3 1 turn and 15 the next. It's just what
That's true.
elementals do.
And that's 10
Yeah,
wounds.
there's 11.
He
Good
did
thing
1
he
extra
Bane
damage
chanted.
because of the Bane Chant. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. 11. Yep. And then there's the character on the side.
I think they went straight to the nerve
He
test.
went straight to nerve. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll get him.
Yep.
So where does he? If he reforms, ooh,
I think he pivots just very slightly, not even that much. Or he
Just put
pivots
him in
that
the front.
much.
But then I think the Alohi will go for the bombard now. I would go for the
It's
bombard.
fine.
Because then you then get to reposition, and then he's threatening the berserkers on the bottom left-hand side as well, or the levy. Because that's what I'd possibly go for. And
Yeah.
also, he's out of
Right.
range of the berserker lord, so the berserker lord is out of the game for them as well.
Mhm.
So
And
he's
he
maybe
can-
be able to chip some shooting on them with some fireballs, but
Yeah. And
How much
either of those charges gives the Alohi a scoring point at the end of
Yep.
the game.
Yeah,
Yes.
and only surge 8 means he probably can't just spin around the elementals and surge into them.
see what I
Yeah.
mean is if he'd
He
have
doesn't
turned
have
them
enough
maybe
to
so they're
pull that off.
maybe almost at 90 degrees, he'd maybe have been able to do it. But yeah,
I think he's also looking at. He only has 2 turns to walk onto that objective
Mm-hmm.
with his Earth Elementals.
3 hits from the Brock Lord
just 1 damage, but he's got vicious. It's 2
He's
damage.
vicious.
and 2 with Vicious.
Dead.
Oh, I got him.
7 will pick him up.
Maybe
Oh, they're
2
inspired by
turns after they should have
Stamina
been dead
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because shattering. Anyway,
right.
That was turn like 1, wasn't it?
That's turn 1.
it was
Yeah, that was
turn
turn
1.
1.
Yeah.
My God. And then does he just back up? No. Oh, he must have just rolled a 1.
Yeah, he did.
Mm.
Okay. Back up. Okay, so over here we've got. All right, so that was Hernius
Hernius.
against the Urloki Regiment.
Nice little conversion.
And the
Spear
Spears.
levy.
Ooh.
Whatever.
You're
You're not.
3 damage. Yeah,
Yeah,
look at that.
yeah.
It's a
Works
7
out.
twice now.
Yeah, 7
Oh.
twice.
Luckily, they went defense 4.
It's an
Once,
8 and a 9.
twice.
What?
Pick 'em up.
Okay.
Oh, that's a big pickup. Big pickup.
Oof.
It's a really
That
big
is a
pickup.
big pickup. Because now
Now they're open.
they're open.
Just
Yep.
hard pivot towards that middle token. Well, I guess he has 2 turns.
Or even just stay where you are on the one that you have.
Oh yeah, I did not even see it.
He also could have gotten very aggressive and gone for that top token.
Mm-hmm. Shut it down.
Well, but see
he
now
just
now
units
now
back up.
Hernius is free, and Hernius can go over here and start shooting them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, what he does with his Panthers is going to be quite important, isn't it? Because it's just. Let's hope some of these Panther Lancers survive in the bottom, but I've got a feeling they're all going to be
I
French toast.
think one of the units will live and the other will not.
I think the
We'll
berserker.
see.
Yeah, the berserkers are going to eat.
They're forced to hit though. Oh, there you go.
16
It
hits.
doesn't matter if
You
he
know.
hits 16 times.
16 on 20 dice. Yeah.
He
There's
saved all the force
2s.
from the elementals.
2s are vicious as well.
Yeah,
Oh.
So it's 14. Yeah, that puts him on 16 before the Vicious rolls.
yeah. So devastated.
Picks up the Vicious.
And
And
yep,
there's a
there it
7.
is.
And a 5.
Why is it, he's rolling
Not
lots of
really.
dice for no reason, but yeah,
Mhm.
there we go.
He is. Yeah, they weren't inspired. He didn't need to do it twice, but he did anyway. And that pretty well puts that token in his hands for now. Might get threatened by the Alohi, but might not.
I don't think the Alohi kill the berserkers in one shot from the front.
No, well, they can't see him.
No,
At the
yeah,
moment.
I'm thinking of the
He'll
possible
take a turn.
Twos.
Yeah, he'll take a turn.
They might
because
do
they
it in
are
one shot.
17 flat, aren't they? That's the thing.
Yeah. It could happen.
Here's the Rangers.
9 hits. Or 6 hits.
Yeah, 9.
Are they melee 3?
The
No.
Rangers? I think so, aren't they? No, they're melee 4.
No.
Yeah, well.
That's a big one.
He rolled a 10 anyway, so he'd have
That's
probably
true.
he
Yeah.
probably would have picked him up 3 damage from them. So yeah, it's kind of.
Okay.
All right. I think that'll take us to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy's going to be out of units. Yep.
Yeah, it's looking a lot worse for Jeremy now.
Yep, all of Ed's stuff is wounded, but he doesn't really have any way to.
Well, he still has some macros to run for a token.
Sure.
Ideally.
Fireball things.
Yeah, fireball.
I
Yeah,
was going to fireball the spear levy. Go for the
Yeah.
fireball on the spear levy.
Yeah. And then be
Try
in a
and break the
position to
elementals,
grab
I guess.
either of those 2 tokens on turn
Yeah.
6. Really, any of those 3.
The
This
big
is the
thing
thing.
is, yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to just say, if the Alohi go for the bombard, then spin, then the Earth Elementals can't go for the top top token because they can't afford to not be showing the
that's
front.
interesting.
Oh no, he's going to go after the Brock Lord.
But the Brocklord's going to kill not
Yeah.
Gila, but he's going to do a lot of damage.
But ground him, Chris. Yeah, he could have flown over here and hid behind the building.
Oh, he's going for the heal on the. No, he's just. No.
He's going straight in.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Okay.
This is
Right?
where I would say balls deep.
Mhm.
He's going
Yes.
basically right into the front of the enemy, which is what you can do with a unit that hits that hard. But I think a lot of the time you've got to have finesse. You've got to have finesse when it comes to a.
This might be the right move, though.
It's the right move if he kills them.
Dash
If he
18.
kills them, yeah.
Yeah.
Dash 18, but 18
So-
dice 3s and 3s.
63% chance.
And they got 5 wounds on him to start.
I think he's also leaving them in range to be healed as well. Is that possibly something he's looking at doing so that he gets them back up to? Because if they're fully healed as well, they'll be.
You
Well,
think he's healing
yeah.
them and not fireballing the Brocklord?
I think he has to go for the Brocklord because if not, that Brocklord's going to pick up Panthers all day.
Correct. So that's why the better play was to
Mhm.
is to basically protect the Panthers
Yep.
with what's her face, fireball the Berserker, and then the Alohi are now in range of also the Brocklord anyway. So the Brocklord could actually turn around and just hit the Alohi and kill them. Also pin them in place by putting Hernius into the other flank. So they would be pinned.
We'll see if-
But it could
last
all
big-
play out. It could all
Yep.
play out.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. he's going for the
Here
fireball.
comes the fireball. Yeah.
I wonder if they
And-
remember shattering. Carry on.
No, 6 hits.
Oh,
It's a pretty good start.
Ooh, 4 damage.
2.
She's
4
piercing.
damage.
Oh, she is
She's piercing
piercing.
1.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's what,
Right.
12
Unless,
with
of course, he
shatter.
doesn't-
So 4 twice.
Yeah. If they remember shattering.
That's a,
Oh, they don't even need
that's a good
shattering.
roll.
No,
That-
the only
Okay.
Boom.
Ed is
Yeah.
still sitting
That's a
on
good
that
pickup.
bombard with line of sight to those back Panthers that I
Right.
don't think Jeremy knows about.
I don't think he knows about it.
It's the thing is it's one of those ploys where you go ha ha, and then you roll a 2
And
and a
then you
3.
miss.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so here's the horde.
Damn it. Oh, big
7.
play, big play.
Once.
A 9. We'll get them.
Twice.
And a
He's
9.
Okay. Okay.
His balls deep has
Now,
come to fruition.
how close are we to
We're
No,
getting
they're
charged
still
by
in.
Spear Levy.
6, 7, 8, 9? Oh no! If you don't pivot that far,
Yeah, this is the wild charge.
Oh,
This is why they gave them wild charge, because they knew
up
situations
there
like
it
this
is.
would happen.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah.
Unless they're speed 5-2. Or no,
no, they're
not.
also speed 4. I had to double
Okay.
check.
All right. So
All right.
that
So
is a big one.
Yeah. I
that
think.
so Jeremy currently has 3 to Ed's 2,
Mhm.
going into bottom of 5.
Mhm.
But he may not have any Panther Lancers left because he's got who's hunting him down? They got Hernius over there, haven't they? Hernius
got-
to hunt down.
There's
Hernius is
Hernias.
free.
And
I don't
Hernies-
think Rangers shoot. I think they just spend the next 2 turns running towards that objective in the middle.
Yeah. I
Hoping
mean,
they
if
get
they
there.
if they just go straight forward, though, they're in flank territory.
They're gonna,
Yeah.
That's the one advantage of the Alohi being
Yep.
there, I guess, is that they
Yep.
now threaten
Yeah.
everything.
And Bannock
Um,
cannot free pivot into the front arc.
Nope. Bannock's got to take the flank. But if Bannock
That's-
lands the
Hit.
flank
Yeah, they can't fly.
and disorders
fly.
them, the
Mm-hmm.
spears can protect the Rangers.
Yeah, but did the spears more than likely die, won't they? To a charge in the front, 4s
Nope.
and 2s.
Hold up.
Are we just
hold up.
declaring an illegal charge?
This is getting out of hand, guys.
Hold up. It's just
This
is.
is-
I mean,
this is-
I'm getting onto the second page of paper here, right?
Yeah.
You know. How fast are Spear Levy?
Well, the thing says it only moved 9.3. to get there.
which is 0.3 more than they should.
Yep.
But it wasn't to the closest
yeah.
point. It wasn't to the closest point. Yep.
They were definitely
They were
outside
out.
of 9.
They were
though.
out.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Because they're speed 4 with wild charge 1, so it's only 9.
Yeah.
Oh, is he? Huh. He's going there with the Rangers.
And Hernius is effectively 36-inch range now too, right? If he
Yes.
holds.
Yeah, if he stands.
Mm-hmm. So maybe he's looking to pick up the Rangers on the right and then double shoot at the left with the Gur Panthers.
The thing is those Gur Panthers could be claiming that token hidden perfectly fine
Yep.
behind a wood. But we're all guilty of it, aren't we? Go,
Oh yeah,
fine,
I
they don't have
forget
to worry about
things
it.
like this all the time.
Yeah.
It's really easy to sit back and look at all this and calculate all the angles, but when you're throwing dice and looking at all the things that you want to be doing, it becomes very easy to miss these things.
So he's getting the Berserkers into range to charge the Alohi.
Okay.
But why? They don't score. They'll be on the ground.
Mainly because he's still within 3 of the token, but he's threatening it.
Yeah, he's threatening it, but like
He's also threatening if the Elohi survive, kill the Spear Levy, and then overrun onto the token,
Yeah, that's true.
which isn't that
Sure.
unreasonable.
they would need a
surely
big.
the Alohi sidestep, don't they? So
Yeah,
they
they
get in
need a
range of their own
4-inch
token.
overrun.
Yeah, and then then Samacris just flies and grabs the one in the middle.
Yep.
If they sidestep far enough.
If they sidestep far enough. But if they've
a
killed
lot
the
of-
spare levy, then he only has to claim 3 objectives, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because look at the scoring units. There's 3 scoring units on both sides. He's
Yeah.
just got to hope that those Gur Panthers don't get blasted.
No, Jeremy's still got 4.
He's got 4. Sorry, he has got 4.
He does have 4.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
But Ed moved the bombard, so it's not shooting anything this turn.
I don't know why. I think this was the turn he should have taken the shot on the troop.
Yeah.
Maybe he is just like, he's playing the best poker hand ever and just going, I'm not going to be able to shoot them. I'm not going to be able to. I can. You can't do anything about it. Damn you.
And Hernius whiffs completely shooting, right?
Did he?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I don't know who he was shooting at, but
Is he on 6s?
Well, if he's shooting the one behind the wall, then they have cover.
Oh, weird. Okay.
But even if he shoots the ones on the other side, he's on 3s to hit, isn't he? So, yeah.
Still only 1 hit because he only got.
Yeah, because he got unlucky
1
and then the
fire.
1 damage.
okay, so he's not elite, but his Rangers are? That doesn't make sense. Okay.
He's a really good mentor. But not a good
We go back to this. I remember in the second edition, you used to get the formation with Naeus and Knights. So Naeus made the Knights elite, and then Naeus was just rubbish.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's spicy.
We forgot to shoot the Rangers.
Who are they going to shoot at? Ooh.
One of the Gur Panther troops.
Too far.
Because they got range 24. Yep.
They're within 24.
Oh,
Bannock just put 5 down himself? Oh no.
3. A 1.
No, the Spears did 4. Bannock did 1.
And they're still alive as well, aren't they? Oh, no.
Brutal.
Brutal?
Yeah, Bannock has brutal.
Bannock's
Bannock was
brutal.
brutal.
Mhm.
There you go.
Wow.
Well, that shouldn't have happened.
But
it's still 3-1 at the moment.
It's the defense 4, isn't it? It's the defense 4 and the OP spear levy who are basically keeping you in the game. So all he's got to do now is kill the spear levy.
I don't think he even needs to kill him. I think he can just move Samacris forward to zone them out.
Correct.
And
yeah.
Obviously fireball and try to kill him, but make it so that if he wants the token, he has to get through Samacris.
Yes.
Which they may or may not be able to do.
Yeah, because the Rangers can walk up and get this one to give him 2.
Yep.
So he plays for basically they can't kill Samacris in a turn and that the Gur Panthers survive.
I mean, you still try to. Yep. This is
There you
exactly the thing I just said. And then you fireball the Spear Levy and try to kill him anyway.
When is the next QQC match? Well, the next televised one is going to be televised. It's going to be decided. I think I've got all the matchups sorted, so we've got to get the guys after Sunday to organise their games for next weekend.
Yep.
So, and then when they've organised the games, we'll pick some up. We want to try and get some other armies involved. A few games have already been played, so I think Jeff, as always, has picked up a win with his horrible Abyss army.
I do not want to play it at all. It terrifies me.
So probably Friday is what
Mhm.
is what we'd estimate.
If they've got a game available Friday, Friday, Saturday are probably going to be the ones we're looking for, aren't we? If we can get one each on those days.
So if Ed hadn't moved the bombard and just shot, Jeremy would not have thought to move these Gur Panthers out of the way.
Yep.
And it looks like Samacus flew forward and fireballed at the spear levy and did a couple of wounds, but did not waver or
No,
would have.
killed. He would have killed it because he got shattering.
Yep.
Right.
And fell just one short despite the shattering. Which is frustrating.
And I'll be playing my game tomorrow, Pablo, and I'll have open table on Universal Battle at 1 Eastern.
What I was going to do is I was going to post up the games because everybody agreed that they're happy for people to jump in and watch the games as they're getting played. Everybody's got access. Everybody's got access to the army lists. And then what we'll do, I'll probably be a bit more efficient next week so that everybody know when the games are being played, so that the ones that aren't being streamed, people can jump on and watch how not to play or how to play the new rules. Not that we're jumping on like Jeremy too much this game, obviously, because he's a standout guy and a great player.
All right, so the spear levy and Bannock have gone in against Samacris. And I'm sure Hernius will take some shots at one of the Gur Panthers again. And
this is really tight going into the last turn, considering where we were, like turn 2. We didn't think we'd make turn 6.
Right.
Yeah. There's been some very interesting swings throughout the entire game. It's been a great one.
I'm guessing we'll see a Bane chant on the spear levy. These rangers really need to walk out of the woods and take this token.
Yeah, think about the spear levy. They've killed, almost 500 points of Alohi by themselves, haven't they?
They have. Some even legally.
Yeah, that last hit was a big game changer.
Love it. Are they even forced to hit those ranges? Range 5, no 4. So they are range 4. So they could easily take those Panthers out.
Yeah, but he's got cover.
They'll get cover, but even
behind
then,
he's behind the wall.
And Hernius will negate the cover.
Yeah.
Oh, and they don't have steady aim either.
Oh no, Hernius will still be at covered.
Do they not have steady?
Oh no,
they don't.
No,
he'll be tall enough.
No, putting Hernius on the hill makes it so that there's no
he's
cover
good
from
now.
the obstacle. Yeah.
So there's the Bane chant on the spear levy.
The Angel Slayers.
Angel Slayers.
All right, here we
Here
go.
come the shots. Oh.
There you go's made up for it. Bang.
Yeah. And then 10 more on like 6s.
12 more.
12 more. No, but he's only going to roll 10.
For consistency.
Kyle, the truth sayer, right? You've been watching too much this. You've been ingesting too much spice, haven't you, Kyle? Your eyes are going a blue tinge. Is that right?
Just one more. It's about 4, yeah. No.
And they're waving. They're still in.
It's a waiver. Maybe if he had rolled 2 more shots.
Nah, he was on 6s. He was going to miss, wasn't he? Let's be honest.
Probably.
Where are we now?
This is the combat.
Bannock
One
did
off
one to
Bannock.
Samacris.
Yeah, smack in the face.
Oof.
And then
It's only 4 hits, but that's 4
Spear
damage, isn't
levy.
it? Because they're spear levy. Yeah.
probably.
Conversion's coming.
I got Bane chant. They'll do 2.
2 is not bad. Yeah. It
3.
puts them in
Samacris is-
range.
What?
Puts him in
13,
range.
15? What is he?
15 flat for her.
15 flat.
15 flat and brutal.
And brutal, so 11 twice?
Mm-hmm.
Still an 11 twice.
A 1 won't do it.
Rolled a 1. Not sure what that is.
He's already trying to do the overrun. That's what he's doing. She's dead, right? You know, I've hit. Her
Oh
with
no,
the-
that was the turn 7 roll. They skipped it because they thought he couldn't get him, I guess.
Okay, that's just going down on the list. What is
I don't know
Samarcris's
either.
nerve?
Dash
But,
15.
I mean, we're joking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Is that a draw?
No, that's a win for
that's
Jeremy.
a win.
That's
Yeah,
a
'cause
win
he's got
for Jeremy. 3 to
That's
2.
Wild
3
game.
to 2.
that.
Wild. Well
What?
played.
Are we going to really like rant on them as soon as they come back on and just go? So
This.
I've got a
You
few
have your-
notes
you have your
that I want to
note
go
sheet,
through.
right?
Right. Turn 1. How many dice do those Iron Watch rifles roll? Just out of interest. Shattering. That comes on fireballs these days, doesn't it? Vicious. Your chariots do have it. Dodgy hernias. Yes. No. I think he corrected that. I'll scratch.
No,
that
the
out.
hernia stuff was
There we go.
fine.
He was totally legit after a while. All right.
Mhm.
Very fast spears.
Don't-
The
don't pers-
spears. Yep.
The spears.
Okay. I'm just
What a
gonna
game.
hold. Yes. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a
You're
great game.
kidding.
Great game.
Well played.
Yeah.
Here
I never
comes
played Ed. I'd never played Ed before, so I was really happy.
That was great.
Yeah, very interesting.
That was a very nice game.
That
It's
was
the kind of
very
one we want on being streamed. So we
Yeah,
chose
so-
well.
yeah.
So it was good.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah, I mean,
thanks so much, guys. Very swingy, a whole lot of stuff going on back and forth. We have notes that we would like to share with you.
So, right, first one is Ed. How many dice do Iron Watch rifles roll?
25.
It's one of those.
It's a good guess,
Uh-huh.
but you've got to choose one.
Okay, I think I chose 25, but it might have been 20.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
shattering.
Sorry about
Fireballs
that.
do have it now. For Jeremy, what do chariots have that makes them really good in combat?
I think
Vicious?
I forgot the vicious in one of
Yep.
the rounds.
Mhm.
Yeah, I realized that happens in the game.
And then there was a few others. I don't want to go into it, but
Yeah, I
it
think
was
was it that in turn 1 the chariot horde all the way over on the right that got wavered would have gotten killed if you guys had counted the
If you had
fireball as
remembered
shattering.
Yeah.
Yep.
The shattering, I thought we counted.
Yeah, I thought that.
No, I don't
thought
think you
that the
did.
Oh, okay. Well, we might have missed it. I know we tried to count it for most of the game, but
it was just funny. It was one of those things where it's very easy for us to turn around and go, oh, you've forgotten this and you've done that wrong. But it just goes to show there's just there's so much we're still learning, aren't we, about all the changes and stuff, and things get lost, and it's hard to concentrate, and especially when everybody's peering over your shoulder.
yeah, it's always tough when you're
Also-
playing a new army for the first time. You always make mistakes, right? When you're playing it for the first time. And it's just sometimes when you play it for the first time on like a thing like this, your mistakes are.
Mhm.
But I mean, it was still.
I thought those Iron Watch rifles seemed a bit too good. So
Mhm.
I was going to say, I don't think it would have made a difference in the number of hits. I think you would have still rolled. Like it just seemed that everything in the center of your army rolled like they were on a time scale. They had like dinner or something, and they were just needed to get everything out of the way straight away. It was everything on the right hand side that didn't get the memo, right? And they were just like,
Yeah.
we're hanging around for a while. They seem like friendly guys. We don't need to hurt them. It'll be fine.
But at the
Yeah,
end,
he
it
just,
was just not managing to get those Gur Panthers. So I had
Mhm.
two turns of shooting at them with Hernias and one of them with the Rangers too, and
Mhm.
just didn't quite do it.
I do like that you waited until like the last turn, Jeremy, to move those Gur Panthers behind the wood. It was only after a while you went, oh,
Yeah.
hang on, they could
Yeah,
be
I should
shot.
move those over.
Ah.
I was like, I should move these over there.
It was
Yeah,
very-
we
it was
were
very cool.
discussing that. We were discussing that. It's like,
They
will Jeremy
waited until the
realize?
bullets were whistling past their ears, and then they
Right.
moved.
Right. We were like, how cool is Ed playing this? Is he going to wait to measure until it's too late for Jeremy to move them?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It must have been so frustrating though, Ed, when you're like, this chariot horde, you throw a berserker lord in it, and then just no, we're still here. And the same thing with those like earth elementals.
Yeah, the Earth
Because you had it kind of in the bag from there. We were thinking it was over turn 2, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
I needed luck on
had
that
a very
turn
good turn 1 and 2, but I guess if I took 5 too many shots with my rifles, then it was, justified payback from the dice gods to
Yeah.
have my sharpness elementals do 1 damage or whatever it was. That was pretty amazing.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, there were definitely some very, very highly improbable dice rolls kind of in both directions. Some big swings on nerve checks, some double ones. Like that game kind of had all the twists and turns that you hope you get to see in a game in terms of like keeping it interesting and exciting. Because like I don't think any of us would have picked anything like the board state you guys ended up with or the score you guys ended up with at the beginning, and certainly not after the first couple of turns.
Yeah,
I
you guys
really
are going to
needed...
turn around and say, "Yeah, we knew that was going to happen. Had it all in the plan all the way, right?"
Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about.
No way. I was in so much trouble after the first couple turns that I needed that flub.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it worked out in the
low
end.
high board with the extra crushing is really nice.
Yeah, it is a
I think
blender.
we're going to see a lot of those about.
Yeah. Now that Jeremy's shown it to everybody, yeah.
Yeah, it was chomping on that stuff for sure.
I can hear all the Basilean lists being written in the distance now.
Just gonna have to slot in a little more shooting to deal with it.
Take those chariots, throw those away. We need Alohi hordes. Come on, let's do it.
I think the chariots are probably better in the regiment size and not the horde size.
Sure.
Makes it a little easier to get the Alohi in with them.
Yeah, the frontage becomes an issue at that point, right?
And that's something I learned in this game is that if I was going to do this list for real, I think I take the 3 chariot hordes down to regiments and then use those points to sprinkle in an abyss with a fury aura or something to go with them. I think that's probably a little bit better. But I mean, it's a quick game, right? You push everything forward, and then he's going to shoot at me, and then I'm going to charge my whole army, and then.
Well, it is a quick game, isn't it? Scout towards me, great, fantastic. Just means this is going to go faster. Yeah.
Ed was a gentleman. Really, really fun game. It was super swingy. We're like trying to figure out what our stuff does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It's a
super
lot
fun.
to take in.
It is a lot. So.
All right. Any other questions for our players?
No, just well played,
now,
guys.
if I watch the stream back, will I cry from all the stuff you say about me, or no?
No.
Don't watch it. Is what you're telling me? Medium amount of crying.
I think it's a fair balance. I think I would probably say, which is probably the nicest thing I've said so far. Carry on.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to your other notes on your list that you were too kind to tell us in the post.
Oh, that's fine. I'll take a photo and I'll send them out. We can post up on -28 and go.
There you go.
What did you guys think of the one move that I was unsure of was when I rotated the chariot horde to charge his martyr prayer priests with the Alohi regiment?
So I think we generally liked that.
Okay.
But one thing we noted is that if you had done it facing completely the opposite direction, they would be able to see some relevant things rather than just looking at
then be facing the other way.
I think they ended up getting wavered again, and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But had they not been wavered, you would have had a charge.
You would have been looking at the flank of that spear levy that ended up being the MVP. There.
So it would have been free rolling on either a waiver or a good charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, shutting down that caster was massive. Had Martyr's Prayer hit on Krogoth, it would have been a very different story for the strength Alohi. So it was a good move.
Yeah. We were at the last kind of like the bit with the Alohi horde as well, charging into the Earth Elementals. We thought that was ballsy because you were going there. You could jump over, hit the bombard, then spin around and threaten everything. But you took it and it worked out. And it just goes to show that they just still hit like a steam train.
I mean, just taking the unit strength out of the board is what it was at that point.
Yeah.
It worked out.
Well, awesome.
Yeah. Well played, guys. It was a ton of fun to watch.
Thank you.
Thanks for the game, Jeremy.
Yeah, thanks, Ed.
Don't forget to fill in your results slip as well.
Yeah, we're going to go back to our Discord room and get that done.
Perfect. Yeah. So thanks to Ed and Jeremy for letting us watch their game. Again, very exciting game, very twisty and turny, great to watch. So thanks so much for that. And congrats to Jeremy on the win. And also thanks to Kyle and John and Jesse for hanging out with me and talking about the game. Appreciate it. And thanks to everybody at home for tuning in and checking out the game.
All right.
As John was saying, we will have some more stream games for you next weekend. And there will probably be some people playing their UB matches tomorrow. So if you pop on UB, you can probably just spectate directly on some of the rooms. And we will have updated scores from this round posted somewhere over the course of the week so you can see the results of all the matches. And I think that's about it. So as always, make sure to subscribe to the channel and keep your eyes on Dash 28 and our Facebook page for announcements of the upcoming matches. We'll be doing these at least one or two every weekend for the next several weeks to show off the new Clash of Kings rules. And we got a lot more fun armies to show you guys. So keep your eyes open for that. And until next time, I'm your host, Mike Atkins, saying you stay safe out there. And we will see you next time on Dash 28 Live. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good night, guys.
All right.